Alright, so this should be the first paper here. Let me see, just a moment. Alright, let me see. Alright guys, welcome back. This is csecnow. This paper here that I'll be going through, these is a few, paper two paper that I will be going through. Therefore I need, you know, to just go through a few topics so you guys could have a full understanding based on the food, nutrition, and health that you guys would have, doing tomorrow. Alright guys, before I do go ahead and go through the paper, let me just a moment guys, please. Alright, see here. Alright guys, welcome back. So we have 23 person watching the stream. Welcome to everyone. Welcome, good night, good night. SB, Alia, Abigail, Simone. Good night guys. We have 23 persons watching the stream. Can we get at least 23 likes guys, so the video can reach out to more, I would say, persons doing exams tomorrow. So I need everyone to like the video. Alright, please. Alright, I'm just gonna move through these a few topics here. Alright, so these are most of the questions guys that you need to know, I would say the key term, alright, for the exams that you guys will be doing tomorrow. So I need you guys to know these key terms here for the food, nutrition, and health people too. So you guys need to know what is obesity. You guys need to know about obesity. You need to know about diabetes, all of those stuff. Alright. Therefore, here what we'll be going through is these questions. Most of these questions are repeated, but they will be in different scenarios. Alright, good night Trish, good night Raj, Kivan, Dija, Pablo. Everyone, welcome. Good night to everyone. Alright, we have a lot of persons here. Welcome. Alright guys, as you enter the chat, make sure you guys like the video. So we're going through this paper. This paper will be a 2014 paper guys. Alright, and we're going through it. So the first question says here, number 1, Clara, a food and nutrition student, suspect that her mother has diabetes based on the signs / symptoms her mother has been, I would say, exhibiting. Alright, good. So here guys, they are saying that you need to state 3 signs or symptoms of diabetes. So you guys need to know this tomorrow in your exam. So you need to know how diabetes, what is the sign, what is the symptoms of diabetes. Alright, good night Andrew. Alright, so first thing first, you know that the signs here will be fatigue. Alright, we know the high blood pressure, otherwise known, I would say, sugar. Or we are talking about frequent urination. So any person that has, I would say, diabetes guys, they are normally using the bathroom more frequent than often. So therefore here we would say frequent urination. So these are the 3 signs. So we have fatigue, high blood pressure with sugar, frequent urination. Alright, and these I just wanted to bring this question across guys. Alright, so when CXC are outlining their papers, what they normally do is to bring back questions from old past paper, but what they do is to rephrase them. So therefore guys, all of these questions would be good for you tomorrow in your exams. I need everyone to pay attention. Alright, and you guys will pass, no worries. Alright, it will be easy. So instead of they're using Clara here, as they're mentioning about Clara here, they won't use Clara tomorrow. They will mention about someone else different, but they will just interpret the question into a different scenario. But all of the topics and the same methods, they have still applied. Nothing changed, alright? Just for your own information, guys, alright? Alright, guys, and then feel free to share the live stream as well, guys. I would really appreciate it. Can we get at least 30 likes on the stream, guys? Come on, we have like 30 person watching the stream. We only have 12 likes so far. Let's go, alright? So the other one says Clara has been, it says Clara has been trying to convince her mother to reduce fatty food in her diet. State 3 effects other than diabetes of high level of fat in the diet. So here, first thing first, guys, we need to state, I would say, the 3 effects other than diabetes of, high level of fat in the diet. So we all know, guys, when we are having high level of fat in the diet, the 3 effects other than diabetes would have been high cholesterol. Alright, so we're talking about the high cholesterol level. Therefore, leading over, we are talking about obesity. Being a sense that we are, overweight, too fat, all of those stuff. Therefore, we'd have seen here where we are talking about high blood pressure. And we know that high blood pressure is a very, I would say, a critical condition, within our health, guys. It's not good. High blood pressure is not good. Leading also to cardiovascular disease. We're talking about heart disease. This is not good. All right. So these would be the 3 effects other than diabetes, guys, that would have been here on for Clara, that would reduce the fatty acid in her diet. So this would be the 3 effects other than diabetes. All right. Another question here, it says that we need to suggest 3 guidelines that Clara's mother should follow to reduce each of the following in her diet. So first thing first, guys, what the question is asking here, they wanted to know what is the 3 guidelines that I would say Clara mothers can follow to reduce these I would say steps, or I would say even requirement that would be in their diet. We're talking about like sugar. So what is the steps I would say Clara's mother can use to reduce the amount of intake sugar in her diet? First thing first, guys, we know that drinking, I would say, or a lot of sugar in their diet is not good, leading to diabetes, to type 2 diabetes. So what she can do is to drink water. All right, reduce the sugar intake and consume more fruits and vegetables. All right, so this is the first, I would say, guidelines that Clara's mother can use to reduce the amount of sugar in her intake. All right, so instead of she using sugar in her intake, she could just consume fruits and vegetables. Does everyone understand? And she could also drink plenty of water to reduce, and also reduce the sugar intake as well. Someone says Andrew says cardiovascular disease. Alright, so we are talking about the fat, we are talking about diabetes, guys. So in regards to the high level of fat, too much fat is not good. Alright, too much fat is not good. Going too fast, slow down. Alright, good. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, listen, guys. So what I'm talking about here, these, we need to suggest the 3 guidelines. So when we are talking about 3 guidelines, guys, we are talking about the steps that Clara's mother can use, or I would say should follow, to reduce these I would say in her diet. So we're talking about like sugar. What can Clara mothers do to reduce the intake of sugar? So first thing first, she can drink water, and she can reduce the sugar intake. Instead of taking a lot of sugar in her diet, what she could do is to consume more fruits and vegetables. Alright, good night, Nelia. Good night, everyone. Alright, good night. So these are the steps that she could go ahead to do. So when you're talking about fat, what can she do to go ahead to reduce the, I would say, the amount of intake of fat? Therefore, we know that she could exercise. Alright, so we know that Clara mothers could exercise. So that would be a keenly vital role. Exercise, eat less fatty food. Alright, so instead of taking, I would say, a large amount of fatty food, perhaps she could take, I would say, a little, in sense, because she'd have to have a balanced diet. Alright, and therefore she here would have to eat a balanced diet as well. So when you're talking about eating moderation, when we're talking about eating moderation, guys, we are talking about having every little of every food in the different food groups. Alright, so here what you would do, have local vegetables, have local legumes, and all of that. Alright, not eating from just one food group. Alright, so here we are talking about eating a balanced diet, guys. Alright, so that is for fat. Now, the other question here says Clara has recommended that her mother becomes, I would say, vegetarian. Therefore, we need to discuss 2 possible health benefits other than helping with problems of diabetes consuming a vegetarian diet. Alright, so first thing first, guys, here says we need to go ahead and discuss 2 possible health benefits other than helping. So we know that 2 possible health benefits are like, I would say, increase the amount of dietary fiber. So we're talking about fiber, guys. We're talking about the amount of fiber in our intakes of, I would say, meal. So we'd have to increase the intakes of fiber, of dietary fiber, and vitamins. Alright, because we know that vitamins play a vital role in our body function, guys. It's very good. So what she could do, other than just helping with her diabetes, she would just to increase the dietary fiber, and also, increase the amount, I would say, intake on vitamins as well. Alright, so these are all of what she should do. Does everyone following? Let me know in the comment section, guys, please. Alright, before I move forward. Good. Does everyone following? Yes or no? Guys, and remember, guys, everyone do like the video. Alright, so the more like we have, guys, the more chance of getting more students over here, so everyone could get prepared for the exams. Alright, guys, please. And share the video as well. I really appreciate it. So the another question here, guys. So far we have received 60 marks for all of the questions there that we need to answer. Alright, so far we're moving forward now. Yes, sir. Alright, good, Andrew, good. Alright, so the other one here, it says, and I will be I will be reading as slow as possible, alright, because I think I'm going too fast. Alright, so let me just read slow as possible as I can. Alright, so it says, sorry, food manufacturers are, I would say, use additives for a number of reasons. So name one additive used by food manufacturing. Two. Alright, so we are talking about food additives, guys. You need to know what is food additives. So when you're going to the exams tomorrow, you guys need to know what does the meaning of food addictive mean. Alright, so let me just give you a quick example. Alright, when they are mentioning about food addictive, guys, we are talking about, for example, we have like food coloring, right? So those are like, for example, the flavoring, artificial flavor, and all of those. Texture, we are talking about like texture agent, coloring agent, we have flavoring agent, we have nutritional age, I would say additives, and we have preservation. So we're talking about preservation, guys. We're talking about things, I would say, whatever, I would say, like the ingredients they use to preserve the food, to keep the food on a longer shelf life. So that is what we are talking about, preservation. All right, so therefore we are talking about like food, I would say, coloring agents. We are talking about food additives. So these are all of the food additives. We have one, like, for example, the artificial flavor, such as the tang. um yes, SBRH, yes, you say additives are age, like enhanced taste, color, and yes, all of those, yes, agents, yes, good. So these are the stuff that they are talking about, guys, food additives. So therefore it says name one additives used by the food. So for like jams and jelly, we know that what they normally do is like they had I would say citric acid to it. Alright, so the citric acid here, involves to the jams, is to ensure that the jams would have the flavor. Yes, flavoring agent. Yes. So what the citric acid would do is to ensure that the jams would have its flavor. Not just to keep it on a preservative level, but it's just to have the flavor and all of those. Here, to preserve, I would say, to prevent oil in mayonnaise. So we're talking about in mayonnaise, guys. When you're talking about mayonnaise from separating. So let me explain something to you guys. This one is a crucial, I need everyone to listen. Alright, you see, without egg in mayonnaise, guys, mayonnaise will not, I would say, combine. They will not, mayonnaise will not combine. It will be separated. So there's a difference between the oil, I would say, the ingredients, ingredients between the mayonnaise substance or structure. All right, so without the egg, without the emulsifying agent, when you're talking about emulsifying agent, guys, you're talking about, someone says, this is your favorite subjects, take your time. All right, Abigail, I'm just going slow as I can. All right, so what we are talking about here, we are talking about emulsifying. So when you're talking about emulsifying agents, you are talking about agents like eggs, ingredients that can use to combine, or even butter and all of those. All right, so we know that the egg here would hold the structure of the mayonnaise with the oil. so it doesn't, prevent it from separating. So we know here the food additives that would be added to the mayonnaise, that prevent the oil from the mayonnaise from separating, it would be egg. All right, so we all know here the answer would be egg. So it's emulsifying agent, example egg. All right, good. So here another one now, guys. We're talking about the improve the nutritive value of margarine. So we're talking about the butter. So what they do to improve, I would say, the nutritive value of the margarine here, what they would do is, like, for example, vitamins and minerals. So those are to add the values. All right, what is the nutritive values that we would have received from, eating, I would say, any different types of food. So therefore we know that what they would do is to add, vitamins and minerals to it. All right, good. All right, and so for tenderizing meat now, guys, what they normally would do, they were talking about the enzymes. So the enzymes is called in the bromelain. So the bromelain now, guys, we need to know all of these stuff, and it's very crucial because you see tomorrow, guys, on your exams, these questions will be random, and trust me, all of these questions here, I can guarantee you 100%. All of these questions will be on your exams, but it will be in different forms. So I need everyone to pay attention, and I'm going slow as I can. So when you're talking about the bromelain, guys, you're talking about the bromelain is like a group of enzymes that found in fruits, and like it also found in fruits and, I would say, pineapples and all of those different. But what you're seeing with the bromelain, guys, what it normally do, it had like I would say a different type of not just flavor, but it's just to tenderize the meat, guys. So it add enzymes. All right, so you're talking about the enzymes. All right, so there's different that you guys need to understand when you're referring to food, nutrition, and health. You guys need to know the different type of topics that you need to study on. Question Michaela says, sir, are the other questions repeatable? All right, let me explain something to you. All of these questions will be repeated, but in different forms. So instead of they mentioning about set of jams and jelly, they will just mention about like apples and all of those stuff. But it's the same. So you just need to have the great understanding of what I'm doing here. Once you understand what I'm doing here, then basically you will get to overcome the exams. All right, good. Yes, Kevin, I always know what's coming on the paper. Trust me. All right, so when you're talking about the bromelain, guys, we are talking about the agent. So we're talking about like the enzymes. All right, so we're just gonna move along. So far we have received one mark for this. So we know that in the set of jams and jelly, they add citric acid to it, and we know that to preserve the oil in mayonnaise, we know they had emulsifying agent, and any emulsifying agent is to bind the ingredients. So anything to bind the ingredients, guys, we're talking about egg and so forth. All right, and when you're talking about to improve the nutritive value of the margarine, we are talking about what is the nutritive value. So far we know that, like in bread, what they add to the bread is to ensure that we would receive iron, whatever, carbohydrate and all of those. So that is what you're talking about. So such as vitamins and minerals here would be in the margarine. So to tenderize the meat, what they know we would have called that we are talking about the enzymes. That's called in the bromelain. Alright, so we're just going to move along to the other questions. So it says additives are used, however, it is, I would say, advisable, advisable that the food containing certain additives be used in moderation. So we need to state two reasons why this advice is given. Alright, sorry. So just let me explain what's going on here, guys. So what they want to know, they said we need to state two reasons why this advice. So the first advice is we know that additives are useful. So why is additives is useful? Guys, once we hear this, we common sense can tell you this. Why is it useful? We know that. All right, let me just go back to the comment. So what does SBA Archer saying that additives are like, for example, add, I would say, enhance taste and flavor and color? Good. So that is the whole reason why they are useful, because they can use to preserve food, to keep food on a longer shelf life. They can add taste, they can add, I would say, color, and all of those textures and all of those. That's what the food additives are used for. All right. Sir one says, sir, when you are going to do people one for this subject? As soon as possible. Alright, so when you are talking about using food additives, they are very useful. However, they mentioned that it is advisable that food containing certain, so the keyword here is certain additives being used in moderation. So what we are talking about, we cannot use too much food additives. Why? All right, so first thing first, we need to, state the two reasons why the advice was given. So first thing first, the reason why food additives are useful is because it are useful to, enhance, I would say, food, color, taste, you know, and all of those. All right, therefore, we know that individual might be allergic. So this is the reason. Let me just explain to you guys. This here would be the reason why certain additives supposed to be used in moderation, because individuals might be allergic, to certain ingredients in the additives, right? So this would be the first one mark that we guys would basically would get the mark for. So we know that the reason why it's supposed to be used in moderation is because it's not everyone would be suitable to use certain types of ingredients. Therefore, what we can do, here is to ensure that the food additives are used in moderation. So when food additives are used in moderation, we know that it would be, I would say, on a level that not everyone will be, affected by the food additives. Thereof, and the reason why we know why food additives is useful is because it enhances color, taste, and all of those textures and all of those. So that is the important, the useful reason. So we're just gonna move along, guys. All right. So it says discuss the scientific principle that explain the removal of excess water from cucumber during pickling. And we guys need to know this. We need to know this. All right. When you're talking about pickling, these are the process we need, guys. When you are doing food, you need to know the process of what you're talking about. Preservation. We need to know to preserve. We need to know the methods of preserving. All right. We all know about bottling. We know about bottling. We know about drying and all of those. I think you guys are supposed to know all of these things. All right. So here we need to discuss the scientific principle. So first thing, guys, would be the removal of excess water from cucumber during pickling is used to preserve it by the process of osmosis. So what you're talking about is when the water is leaving the cucumber. So this would be a simpler method, as like for example, like drying. So we are using to preserve it by the process of osmosis. So therefore, we'd have seen that the excess of water would be removed from the cucumber during pickling. So this would be the scientific method, right? That's been used to preserve during the process of osmosis. All right. So this would be the process where we removal of excess of water from the cucumber. Someone says. Someone says, Kevon says, osmosis, the water from molecules from high concentration to low concentration through semi-permeable membrane. Yes, correct. Correct, Kevon. You're correct. Good for that one, alright? Guys, we have 36% on the live, guys. Can we have at least 50 likes on the stream? Please. The more like the guys, the more person we can have here, so we can go ahead and um all right, the more like it's better, guys, and I'm trying my best to to take my time to read through these questions so you guys could understand. I am not rushing the people. All right, does everyone understand? Let me know in the comment section. Please interact with me, guys. All right. All right. All right, let's go. We're moving along so far. All right, good. So let's go move along to the other section, guys. All right, so here it says to demonstrate a variety of ways in which bananas are used. So David made banana jams and fruit salad. All right, so we all know this, guys. It says explain two guidelines David would have used to select the bananas to ensure that the jam was a high quality. All right, so we all know this here. So what's going on here, guys? It's, sir, you helped me so much into science, watching your live day before exams. No, you're welcome, Ima. All right, good. All right, so what we're talking about here, guys, we need to explain two guidelines David, would have used to select the bananas to ensure, that the jam was high quality. So the guidelines, first thing we need to know what the question is asking. All right, so let me break down the questions in a simpler form. So what CSEC is asking, guys, they wanted to know, we need to, explain two reasons in the sense of guidelines. So we need to know the two highlight why David, would have used, the selected banana to ensure that the jam was high quality. So first thing first, why did David use a banana? To ensure, remember, David had want to make jam. So David made jam and fruit salad. But what we are seeing here, it says explain the guidelines David would have used to select the banana to ensure that the jam was high quality. So first thing first, if you're going to make a jam, guys, we need to select the best banana that would best suit for your ideal, I would say, disher, for example. It doesn't matter what you're making. If you're making porridge or so forth, we'd have to choose the perfect banana. So forth, we're not gonna choose a banana that is too overripe or too green. All right, so we are talking about the quality now. So therefore, we'd have to ensure that the banana is firm. All right, so you see what we are talking about now, guys. So we'd have to see that the banana is firm and fully ripe. Taste the banana before making the jam. But what we are talking about here, we are, instead of taste, we can say, take a sample. Alright, instead of using taste, guys, we can just say take a sample of the banana before making jam. Okay, instead of taste. To me, taking a sample would, sound more appropriate than just taste. Alright, so we have to follow the food principle, guys. Alright, so first thing first, we know that we'd have to, eventually ensure that the banana is firm first, and the banana is fully ripe. So that would give us the high quality. Alright. Therefore, the other question asks that David recognized that the banana in fruit salad has darkened after a while. It says, describe the process which caused the darkening of the banana. Before I even explain this, guys, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown what we are talking about. So, for example, guys, does you ever put down any fruit, like it could be orange, it could be banana, but let's just put banana in the example here since they're referring about banana. We know that we normally put down banana like for a few days, and when the banana become overripe, what happened? We normally see the banana become black, darken in color, the skin becomes so black, and we always wondered what is the reason why the banana is black. So first thing first, guys, when we are referring to enzymes, enzymes is the reaction due to the hair, guys. When we are seeing that the hair would have combined, that the banana would cause the darkness. So what really happened here within the reaction? So it's like a chemical reaction, guys, between enzymes. So we need to understand enzymes. When we are referring to enzymes, we need to understand. So enzymes now, guys, is when we are seeing that the chemical reaction, let's say like the speeding of the metabolism is, so it's a chemical reaction in the, I would say, the fruit, right? So it's the chemical reaction within the fruit. So what would have happened, guys, it speed up. So when it speed up, what gets to happen is we are seeing that the reaction is being incorporated with the hair, that causing the banana to be dark in color. So we are seeing that the special protein which can speed up the reaction act as the, I would say, like for example, biological catalyst. So we are seeing that this would cause the fruit to ripen over time. And once the fruit become ripened over time, then the fruit will change in color. When we are seeing that the enzymes has been trapped in the tissue that causes the color of the banana to be darkened. Alright, so we are talking about enzymes, we are talking about this process, speeding process, alright, of the chemical reaction within the banana. So that is what happened, guys. Alright, so we're talking about the biochemical reaction. Alright, does everyone understand? Let me know in the comment section if you understand, guys. Feel free to in the comment section to let me know if you understand, please. Alright, because we're going through the paper together and I need everyone's attention so you guys could score a nice grade in your exams tomorrow. Alright, good. Oxidation, you're talking about oxidation. Alright, let me explain something to you, Yvonne. Alright, when you're referring to oxidation, right? All right, let me explain something to you. So oxidation is like, let me just give you a quick example. All right, oxidation is different. It's more like oxidation would be like a chain reaction that occurs in the presence of oxygen. Alright. So what we are normally seeing about oxidation, guys, we are seeing that we're talking about like the food products, like for example, the processing, packaging, and storing technique. These are, we are talking about like the oxidants. So normally what would happen in the food of oxidation is when you're slicing a fruit, like a sliced fruit, to brown. So what is happening? You're similar to the whole reason, Kevon. So oxidation, what you're talking about is like when you cut a fruit, what normally happens is when the oxygen leave the fruit color become change. But yes, you had a point of it. So, but what we are talking about is when the chemical reaction. We are talking about the enzyme. So it's similar to where the oxygen would have leave. The oxygen would have leave the fruit for real. That causes the color to become dark in color. But we are talking about due to the here incorporation with the chemical reaction. So it's almost the same in the sense of oxidation. I could say it's the same. Because if you were supposed to, look between oxidation and when we are talking about the incorporation with the here and the enzymes, it is the same. Because once the oxygen leave the fruit, what would happen? The color would change. So the color would have become darkened. All right. So yes, you are correct. Good, sir. You really helped me through the exams. No problem, Delisha. It's my pleasure to do so. All right. Good. So does everyone understand? Let me know in the comment section, guys, before we move forward, alright? Just let me know. Any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section before I move on. Am I going too fast or it's good? Let me know. Alright, good. So here, guys, so far we have received 16 marks for this. So we need to know all of these terms. And I need everyone to pay, I would say, I would even use this term, valid attention. Not invalid. I'm talking about real attention now, guys. Don't be on the live and you're not, paying attention. Don't get distracted, please. So what you're talking about here, I want to ensure that everyone, understand what's going on here. All right, good. So we're just gonna move along to the other question. So it says Wayne is demonstrating how to make sweet flour-based products at a school event. So it says we need to list two icing or frosting that Wayne could use to decorate cake. All right, so let me explain something to you here, guys. We need to list two icing that can use that frosting. Wayne can be used to decorate cake. Alright, so first thing first, the one we can use to decorate cake, guys, would be buttercream. Alright, so buttercream can use to decorate cake. So what you're talking about buttercream, guys, it's the same butter that made the buttercream. But what they use the butter, we combine the butter with like I would say, like the egg. We use the butter together with the egg, but it's like more likely to have the whole Heisling method of it. But we are talking about the buttercream frosting. It can be used, to use ice cream, and we also can use a cream cheese frosting. So these are two, would say, Heisling that we can use. So we either can use a buttercream frosting or we can use a cream cheese frosting. And it's very simple, guys. Once we know about icing, and we need to know about the frosting. Good. So it says we need to, go ahead and give one function of each. All right. So first thing first here, let me see. So for the liquid, we need to give the function of the liquid. So what does the liquid do? Alright, when you're talking about liquid, you're talking about like milk or water. So what does the water do, guys, in the ingredients in cake making? So when you're talking about cake making, we need to know the principle of cake making. So what does water do? What does egg do? Alright, let me explain something to you now. So what does the liquid do, guys, in cake making? It's it's to combine the dry ingredients. So we are talking about mixing the dry ingredients. That's what we are talking about. Alright? Take him up. Alright, so what you're talking about, eggs. The eggs would have give the egg the sponginess, but it's not just to give the egg the sponginess, guys, but it's to help combine the ingredients. Alright, so what does the egg normally do is to combine the ingredients, not just to give the sponginess. but it also helps, come to combine the ingredients. But normally, just we know that the water would combine the dry ingredients. What the egg would do is to hold, so it would give the structure. So we can say it also to give the structure of the cake. All right, not just to give its sponginess, but it's to give the structure of the cake. So we can either choose any of these two to give the structure of the cake, or just to give the cake its sponginess. Does everyone understand what's going on here? All right, good. All right, so another question here, it says give 2 reasons why flour should be folded in the mixture when making a cake. So we are talking about cake principle, guys. So we all know here that we need to ensure that the cake does not lose its air, and the reason why, because we know that when the cake loses air, it will be soggy. So when you're talking about soggy, when you're having the uneven cake, guys, where you know that when you bake a cake, we have seen that the cake would have been uneven. Alright, so when you're talking about uneven, guys, we're talking about seeing the cake that will become like cracked, and all of those. We are seeing holes inside of the cake. So you just want to ensure that the cake does not lose its air, and it's to ensure that the egg does not overmix. Alright, so because we need to keep the structure within the cake. If the egg is being overmixed, what would happen with the cake, guys? We would have seen that we'd have a sunken cake. Alright, so what would happen is when the cake becomes sunken. So we're talking about the cake that have a hole in the middle. The cake does sunk. It doesn't rise. All right. Hello. Good night, Kenrika. Good night. Good night. All right. So the other questions here, guys. It says Wayne added too much sugar, right, while making the yeast dough. So we need to explain one, I would say, effect that is likely to have on the finished product. So first thing, guys, we're talking about the yeast dough. So first thing first, you know that he added too much sugar. So what would have been the reason here? We know that once you added too many, I would say too much sugar to your yeast dough, this would cause the yeast to not rise. And the reason why it caused the yeast not to rise is because it would cause a dense, and it also going to be too sweet as well. Not just causing the density in the cake, but it will cause the cake to become too sweet. So this is the one cause. So first thing first, we know that the cost of the yeast dough would have not rise, causing it to be dense and sweet. All right, good. Does everyone following? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Can we get at least 50 likes on the stream, guys? We have like 28 person watching the stream, and everyone can please share the stream. All right, please and thank you. I would really appreciate it. All right, guys. Trust me, I'm not really in the mood tonight, guys, but I'm trying my best, just to make the video for you guys, so you guys could, have the have this paper before your exams. And trust me, guys, I can guarantee you 100% most of these questions will be on your paper tomorrow, but it will be in different formats. So I need everyone to pay attention. They will ask about cake mixing. They will ask about all the different types of agents. So when you're talking about like agents that been used and all of those in cake and all of those stuff, raisin agent and all of those. All right, good. All right, so another question here, guys. Um, it says suggest 2 reasons, right, why Wayne should follow rules for batter making. So to ensure the quality and sweet product. So you're talking about butter. We need to suggest, I would say, 2 reasons. So first reason we know, guys, is to ensure that no errors happened, and we also to ensure that he has the right proportion and technique. So when you're talking about batter making, guys, we need to ensure that the quality and sweet product. So for the first thing first, for us to ensure to have a good quality, we have to ensure that there is no error. So once there is no error, we should have a good batter. All right. The next thing first, we need to ensure that he has the right proportion. So what we are talking about proportion, we are talking about enough ingredients and the right amount of ingredients, and also the techniques. And when we are talking about the techniques, we are talking about the whole, like for example, the method that I would say Wayne would have used to ensure that he would have mixed the batter to his best ability. All right. Therefore, all right, does everyone understand what's going on, guys? Let me know in the comment section, please. Alright? Does everyone understand what's going on? Let me know in the comment section, please. Alright? Yes or no. If you understand, yes or no. I need live interaction, guys. Alright? And we're going through this paper the whole night tonight, guys. I have like 2 papers so far, different from the one that I am doing now. So in total, we have 3 papers that we need to go through. Alright, good. So the other question here, guys, it says, Wayne has decided to demonstrate the preparation of a baked egg custard. So we need to explain 3 steps in the preparation of the baked egg custard. Alright. So first thing first, we know, guys, first thing I want everyone to understand. When you're talking about when you're when you're talk when you're talking about when you're talking about just a moment, guys, please. All right, good. Sorry, guys. So when you're talking about demonstrate the preparation of baked egg custard, we need to explain 3 steps. So first 3 steps that we need, guys, in regards to preparation of baked egg custard, we know that we need to beat the egg. And the reason why we need to beat the egg, we need to add all of the ingredients together. So we need to add, for example, the yolk and the sugar need to, combined, and we need to beat the egg and put in a pan. So what you're talking about, guys, ensuring that the egg would have been in a pan. So we need to beat the egg in a pan. All right. All right. So the another step now, guys. Let me just give you the last step. So first thing, the first step would have beat the egg in, and the yolk and the sugar we need to combine, and the other one would beat the egg in a pan. And the other, when you are doing the baked egg custard, we need to ensure that the egg would have beaten correctly in the proper, in the proper, I would say, technique and within the time frame. So we don't want to overbeat the egg, guys, but we want to beat the egg in the sense that we have on time. So we want to ensure that we have beat the egg, I would say efficiently and correctly. So we need to have the correct techniques. All right. So when you're talking about technique, guys, you need to have the correct technique when you're, making the egg custard. All right, guys. All right. So I need you guys to understand. So we need to have technique. Alright, so we need to have just a moment, I'm hard to write this. Alright, so we need to have the correct technique, guys. Alright, so first thing first, we need to beat the egg and the yolk and sugar, and then we need to beat the egg in a pan. And ensure that we have the proper technique first. Alright, good. Alright, so section B here, guys, I need everyone to understand. So it says we need to answer these questions. So first question here, we need to define the term hydrogenation. So what does hydrogenation mean? So hydrogenation, guys, is a chemical reaction in which hydrogen atoms are added to unsaturated compound. So we are talking about such as like alkene and alkyne. Alright, so these are like compounds, guys. So these are unsaturated compounds, alkene and alkyne. Alright, good. So the other question says we need to give one example of food production in the process by hydrogenation. So hydrogenation, guys, remember hydrogenation is a process is where we are having chemical reaction that's been added to unsaturated compound. Yes, chemistry in foods. Yes, it's a little different. Yes, but you need to know all of this. It's mixed. All right, so we know, guys, the process of hydrogenation. We know that margarine it's being under the process of hydrogenation. And the reason being because it's like a process, guys. These foods have to go on the process. The added, all of the ingredients and all of those and process it and to ensure that this is well manufactured. All right, so this would be one margarine, butter, or we can say oil. All right, oil. So you can say vegetable oil, guys, because this is how they extract the vegetables, to make the oil. So you can say vegetable oils. Does everyone understand what's going on? So that is hydrogenation. Alright? Alright, guys, and trust me, food is easy. This is my favorite subject, and I think everyone's supposed to know already. Alright? My favorite. I love to cook. And it's not just love to cook, guys. Foods is fun. Trust me. Alright? If you are a person that, not just love to cook, but love to explore more about food, it should be easy. Trust me. Alright, so don't worry yourself, guys. The exam will be easy tomorrow. Trust me, you guys will tell me about it. It will be easy, not hard. Alright? Good. Alright, good. So first thing first, guys, and I will show you guys one diagram that I need you guys to study. I am gonna show you one diagram that you guys need to study before after I finish this paper. I'm gonna show you. So you guys need to have a high expectation of the diagram. So they may throw in the I would say the diagram about the cow that you need to label, like for example the limb and loin and all of those. So I will show you what I'm talking about, guys. All right. All right. So here, guys, we are seeing this would have been the guidelines when following, I would say, when are planning the meal in order to prevent the condition. So first thing first, you know that table 1, guys, is showing the health condition and guidelines to follow when planning meal. So for anemia, all right, when you're talking about anemia, guys, you're talking about low cow crazy. Keep the egg in mind, sir. Yeah. All right, good. So you're talking about anemia, guys. You're talking about when you're seeing that we have low level of iron in our blood. So the low level of I would say iron in our blood, guys, would cause the whole vitamins of anemia. So that would cause a condition. So what we need to do, we need to include rich iron food in our diet. So to prevent short, and we know that anemia, guys, when you have lack, I would say shortage of iron in our body, it will lead to I would say the vital conditions of anemia. And anemia, guys, we're talking about less oxygen, being transported into our blood, leading to deoxygenated blood. So we're talking about your body would have not have enough oxygen to process your body. So what you're talking about, guys, is the function of our body. We know that the oxygen we have need within our body. All right. So therefore, we know that we need to intake, I would say, large amount, but not just large amount, but to include good amount of iron-rich foods to prevent the condition anemia. Second thing we're talking about is obesity. So what we need to do here is to exclude excessive fat in diet. So what you're talking about, guys, we need to exclude. So we need to take out the amount of fat that we are intaking in our diet as well, to prevent the, would say, the conditions of obesity. Therefore, we're talking about acne. We know a lot of person have acne, guys, having those bumps and all of those stuff. It's a little bit weird, but what happened, guys, it's to I would say reduce the amount of sugar and fat. So those are, eventually, that person who have acne, if they are intaking too much sugar and fat, then what would happen is been the condition for them. So these are the guidelines we need to follow when we know a person has these conditions. So if a person have acne, what we need to do is to remove, not just remove, but reduce the amount of sugar and fats. Good. If we know that a person have hypertension, so if you're creating a meal for your, I would say, your grandma, and you know that your grandma had hypertension, what you need to do is to exclude excessive salt. So we know that, guys, too many, I would say, or too much salt is not good in your diet. So eliminate too much intake of salt in your diet to prevent the conditions of hypertension. All right. Also, I would say constipation. So therefore, guys, with constipation, what you guys need to do is to intake more fiber. All right. So the fiber help with your I would say metabolism that prevent constipation. So therefore, include more fiber and water. So these are the steps when you are using to planning a meal for the person that has the following conditions. All right. Does everyone understand? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Can we get at least 50 likes on the stream? Because we're moving forward. All right. Guys, remember, if you feel sleepy, get a cup of water and wash your face. Or just go in the bathroom, guys, and you turn on the pipe and wash your face. All right. Please do not sleep on the live. All right. Good. Because we need everyone to pass, and everyone must pass. All right. Good. All right, good. So here, guys, here it says copy the table in the booklet. So you need to select 3 conditions other than anemia, I would say, and state 1 guideline to be followed when planning meal of the 3 conditions selected. All right, good. So for the booklet above, we're just going to select, this is select 3 conditions other than anemia. Alright, so we don't have to select anemia. We can say obesity. We can say hypertension. We can say constipation. So we need to select 3 other than anemia and state 1 guidelines to be followed when planning. So we already mentioned this already, guys. So this table is already followed here. So we can say any of these. So this would be, we know about obesity. So if you're going to say obesity, what you need to do when you're following obesity. So one guideline to be followed when you're making plans, we'd say meal for obesity, we know what we need to do is to ensure that we do not intake too much excessive fat in their diet for obesity persons. Alright, so when you're talking about obesity person, what you need to do in an obesity person diet is to intake, or I would say intake more fruits and vegetables instead of fats in their diets. Alright, and the second thing for hypertension, what you need to do within hypertension is to limit the amount of excessive salt in their diet. And the next one for constipation is the same, include more fiber and water. That could, prevent the conditions of constipation. Alright, sorry, can you do a physical education sports paper too? Kayla, when I can, I will try my best. Alright, I won't promise you as yet, but when I can. Alright, good. Alright, guys, so just moving along. So as the other question here, so we need to explain 2 effects that a diet deficient, would say deficient in the water. Sorry, not in the water. Sorry, what am I reading though? My eyes are getting blurry now. So we need to explain so we need to explain 2 effects that are deficient in water over a prolonged period can have on proper functioning of the body. So what we are talking about, guys, 2 effects. Diet deficient in water. So when we are talking about when you're not taking enough water, guys, what can happen? So this is what the question is asking. When we are not intaking enough water in our body, what can happen? So we know that lack of water can cause is when you're talking about the diverticulous. The diverticulous, we are talking about causing like irregular and distributed bowel movement. So this can also cause by the dehydration, which makes your mouth dry, or and also loss of energy. All right, so this is the process, guys. These are the 2 effects. So it causes your body to be dehydrated and make your mouth dry, and also loss of energy. So you also lost energy when you're not intaking enough water. All right, good. Another one here, it says flour, eggs, and sugar are basic ingredients used in making a thorough sponge cake. We all know that. All right, good. The other question is, what we are trying to say here, we need to describe 1 effect of heat each of the 3 ingredients while the cake is being baked. Alright, so let me explain to you what the question is asking here, guys. What they wanted to know, or what they are trying to bring out in the statement that they're trying to make here. They are saying that flour and egg are basic ingredients in through sponge cake. We all know that. So what we need to do is just to describe 1 effect, 1 problem of the each of the 3 ingredients in the cake. So the 3 ingredients, what is the problem? So the problem between flour, egg, and sugar. So first thing first, let me just go ahead. So we know about the flour. The flour would have turned into gluten, right? So that would have been 1 effect. Does everyone copy in? Now we are talking about the egg now. The egg would have helped the cake to support the structure. Good? So this would be 1. So this is the 1 effect. This now, right here, this is the second effect. Right? And now the third effect would have been here. So we'd have seen that sugar helped the cake to inflate and make palatable. Does everyone understand what's going on? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Because before I move on, I just want to ensure everyone understand. Does everyone understand what's going on, guys? Let me know in the comment section, please. Alright. So when we're talking about palatable, guys, we're talking about to make the food, pleasant to taste. So we need to get I would say an idea with this term, because they may ask, so we are talking about palatable. So palatable, guys, we are talking about taste. All right, you're talking about a pleasant taste. All right, so we need to get familiar with the definition. All right, so we're talking about taste. We can say edible. We can say edible, because if they are telling you that the food is edible, what they are talking about, the food is tasty. All right, so we need to. Otherwise, we know that palatable can be either taste or edible. These meanings are the same. So first thing, we know that the flour would have turned into gluten, and the egg would have helped the cake to support the structure, and we know that the sugar would help the cake to be, to heat and to make it, taste or edible. Edible is the same. All right, good. So I hope everyone understand what I just explained just now, and we're moving along through the paper. All right, good. So here it says we need to list two materials used in manufacture of saucepan. So first thing first, guys, we know the two materials that have been used in manufacture of saucepan. We know about stainless. So they're talking about like stainless steel. Does you guys ever hear this term before? Stainless steel. We know a lot of us wear stainless steel, chain and all of those. Well, for females, bundles and all of those stuff. For the male, they wear stainless I would say chain and like watch and all of those stuff. And we also know about copper. So copper is mean use of a material that been used in the manufacturing of saucepan. So two is stainless steel and copper. 2 marks so far. We have received 2 marks. The other question says we need to state one advantage of each type of material listed in above. So for stainless steel, what is the advantages of using stainless steel? So we know that stainless steel does not stain when cooking meals. So that is what we know. That is the main advantage. Alright? And for copper now, we know that copper is a good conductor of heat. When we are talking about good conductor of heat, what we are talking about? We are talking about copper would have allowed the heat to be conducted without passing through the I would say the material. Alright, so we're not talking about insulator. We are talking about conductor. Conductor is when we are having, the heat is not passing through it. So we could hold a copper pan. It will be hot, but it will not pass through the pan to burn you. But if you are supposed to hold a conductor, what will happen? We will feel all of the heat. That's why most of the times, guys, if you're at home cooking, you ever notice that most of the pans, I would say, are the pot that you have used to cook. Most of them are thin, in the sense that if you just put it on the fire, it will burn you within like 1 minute or less. The reason why, because based on the materials that been used in manufacturing of those pots. So most of them would have been made from materials that is a conductor. Some are made from materials that is a insulator. So we are talking about insulator. We are talking about materials that allowed heat sources to pass through them. Does you understand what's going on here, guys? Let me know. So we so far have received, let me see, 2 marks for this one. And it's very easy. Very, very, very easy. All right, good. So far, all right, going forward. So far, guys, this is a item, a first kit aid, right? So you're seeing that we have a liquid antiseptic, right? And we have a disposable gloves, and we also have an instant cold compress, and we also have a tweezer. Good. So we have 4 items here so far. 4 items. Good. Moving along. Let me just use the red highlighter instead, because I love to use the red highlighter, trust me. Alright, good. We're moving along now, guys. Alright, so in figure 1, alright, it says state the use of any 2 items shown in the above. So first thing first, we need to state 2 items shown. So first, to extract the fine, we have, I would say, how many food and nutrition people you'll be going through? Three. I have a 2014 one here. I have a 2019 one here, and I have a 2021. These three papers, but these are paper two, not one. All right, and I take my time. I take my I would say valuable time to to ensure that I go through these papers and write all of the correct answers, and ensure we have them. So first thing first, we'd have seen that we'd have extract the fine or small particles from entering the skin. So first thing first, you know about the, like for example, we are talking about the instant cold compress is used to compress the air. So we are talking about the small particle from entering the skin. So we are talking about to extract the fine or small particle. We are talking about the, let me show you. We are talking about the liquid antiseptic. Alright, so the liquid antiseptic here would be the extract the fine or small particle from entering the skin. And what we have seen that the the compress, the cold compress would have been used to compress the air. Right? Alright, the other question here. It says Sandra removed West India cherries from the freezer after 6 months and observed that the packaging had, so we're talking about deteriorated. So we're talking about deteriorated, we're talking about the cherries that have been, changing the, I would say, color. So they are meaning that they have been spoiled. Alright? Good. So it says we need to, suggest two ways by which this spoilage could have, happened. So we're talking about occur, we're talking about happened. So well, first thing first, you know that she did not blanch the cherry before storing them. Does we know what the meaning blanch mean, guys? Let me know. I think your teacher already tell you that what you need to do is to blanch, for example, like fruits and all of those. Blanch them. Does we know what is blanch? Do we know what does blanch mean? Nelia says yes. So blanch mean, I need you guys to understand. Alright, so most of the times, what would have happened, like for example, if we were supposed to cook like vegetables and all of that, we would normally blanch them. Alright? And most of the times, doing a blanch, it really helps I would say the fruit, or the different type of fruit that we have used to to remove, to ensure that they don't spoil. So for example, like I would say ackee. Before you put the ackee, yes, dip in warm water then in cold. Good. Makita. Good. Makita, yeah, sorry. Yes, good. So what you do with the blanch is you shock the, I would say, the chemical, reaction between the fruit or whatever. So what happened here is when you like boil, for example, like ackee. Normally before we put ackee in fridge, I would say we normally, ensure that they are boiled, right? And what they happen after we ensure after they're boiled, we put them in cool water after. Strain off the water, and then we'd have put it in the fridge to to freeze, to keep it under the whole phosphate. So what happened, guys, we need to know about blanching. Blanching is very important. So first thing first, why the food would have been spoiled is because she did not blanch the cherry before storing them, and the cherry were not stored properly. So we are talking about improper storage. This could lead to contamination. Not just contamination, but food spoilage. We need to understand, guys. So if tomorrow, if they were supposed to ask you that you need to list two ways which food can spoil, we can say if the food is not, I would say, blanched, or for example, our fruit didn't blanch correctly, or improper storage. So improper storage meaning poor storage. So if they didn't place the cherry in, the proper storage, they would have spoiled quickly. All right, good. Another question here. So we need to suggest one reason the type of packaging material that Sandra should use in the next time she's freezing was India cherry to prevent spoilage. So listen first, guys. The next I would say step that Sandra, next time that Sandra been using in the package that she could do is so she could ensure that she utilizes the Ziploc bag.
So when you're talking about Ziploc bag, it's because the Ziploc bag would be more, I would say, effective in the sense when storing fruit, I would say storing fruits such as cherries. So what the Ziploc bag do is to allow that there's no hair in the fruit that will cause spoilage. All right. So that is the key. All right. Good. Um, sorry. So that is the one reason, and we'd have received 2 marks. Very easy, guys. So let me say something to you guys. Foods, we just need to reason. We just need to reason. That's all. There's nothing much. We just need to reason, alright? Just guys, just pretend as if you're at home cooking and you're in a problem. What would you do? Alright? Common sense. These questions are common sense, guys. You don't have to trust me. I'm not encouraging you guys, but trust me, you don't have to study to pass foods. Trust me, it's very easy. So I'm just to as your best ability. So imagine if you study, guys. Trust me, everyone can get a grade 1. Stop worrying. It's very easy. Just common sense. Read and analyze the question. All right. Good. So we need to give 4 guidelines that Sandra should followed when storing the West Indian cherries in the freezer and ensure that they did not spoil. So first thing first, guys, we need to ensure that the stored cherry is being properly. So what you're talking about, ensure that the temperature is correct. Because remember, if Sandra was supposed to put the cherry into a warm temperature in the fridge, the cherry would have been spoiled. But if she do put the cherry in a, I would say a right, temperature, or cool within the cool temperature, that would keep the cherry under, better condition in the sense that they didn't spoil. Then what she could also do is to blanch the cherry. All right, blanch the cherry. And also what she could also do again is to ensure that the storage or bag container are good quality. So what you're talking about, ensure that the container, so you're talking about the storage. We're talking about the storage but in a different form. So we want to ensure that the bag is that she using, I would say, are the Ziploc bag. So we know that we can store and store that the Ziploc bag, there's no hair is entering the Ziploc bag, and it's very good of quality. So these would have been the 4 guidelines that she could followed, that when she is storing her cherry in the freezer, to ensure that they do not spoil. All right. So first one is to store the cherry properly. So this is one. And second, she need to store, not just to store, but to ensure that the fridge or the refrigerator temperature is correct. And third, she need to ensure that she blanch the cherry. So this would be the third one. And the fourth one, now she need to ensure that the container or bag are good, quality. So ensure that they are sealed, properly sealed. That's what I'm talking about, guys. I was looking for that key term, seal. Instead of quality, we just want to ensure that they are sealed, right? That we are talking about, guys. Sealed, very sealed. Alright? I want to use this stuff here. So we just want to ensure that they are sealed. Sealed, right? Good. And anyone wanted to sleep, guys, remember, please just get a cup of water, or go near to the pipe and wash your face, please. All right, that will help very a lot. Do not sleep, guys. Do not sleep, please. We're almost through and we are going ahead. All right. So it says Brian was given an assignment to identify the food shops in the district that are most hygienic. Right. So suggest 2 factors of food hygiene and safety that Brian should use to determine which shop are the most hygienic. Right, so first thing first, guys, 2 factors that Brian could use to determine that the food and the shop is hygienic are, so we know that what Brian need to do, Brian need to ensure that the vendors are sanitized properly. So we ensure that the vendors station is very clean, in the sense that they are sanitized properly, and we need to ensure that the container is being covered properly to prevent foodborne illnesses. Alright, alright, and then so these are just the 2 factors, and there are 2. It only says 2. I thought they said more, but they're 2. So one is to ensure that the vendors, I would say station. So you can say station, ensure that the vendor station are properly sanitized. So you're talking about cleaned, being wiped with bleach or the whatever, all of those agents that we know that can be cleaned, properly, and we ensure that the container are covered properly to prevent food-borne illnesses. All right, we don't need any flies, we don't need any roach or rats or any of those stuff, none of those stuff on the food. So we have to ensure. All right, so you see, guys, these questions are common sense. You see, very easy, very easy. All right, moving along. Almost through. So it says, number 6, it says, in order to satisfy their protein requirements, we are talking about vegans, we are talking about strict vegetarians, utilize textured vegetable protein. So we are talking about TVP. When you're talking about TVP, guys, you need to get familiar with this, I would say, abbreviation term. So acronyms TVP, we're talking about textured vegetable protein. All right, so product in their diet. So if we need to state 2 example of TVP product. So if they were supposed to say tomorrow, guys, that you need to state 2 TVP product, we are talking about textured vegetable protein. So we know that soya chunk and chickpeas. So these are food that vegetarian eat. All right, so you know they do not eat meat. So we're talking about chickpeas, soya chunk. Does everyone understand what's going on, guys? Alright, good. We're moving along. Alright, so another question here, it says on the label of a textured TVP product, the expiry date read 18 October 2014, right? Alright, so state what this information mean to consumer of the product. So we know that once it's been dated the 18th of October 2014, we know that this would mean that the product can be, I would say, best to consume before the 18th of October 2014. So what you're talking about, like it best before. So the best before is to ensure that what you're talking about, the food can be consumed before the 18th of October. After the 18th of October, the food have been not valid anymore. So the food would have not been, good. You were talking about expire. This food have been expired. And it's, you see, guys, very common sense question. Very common sense. Good, Brittany Bartley. Good. And guys, remember, anyone here want to follow me? Guys, my Instagram is in my description. You guys can follow my Instagram. Alright, and share the live. I would really appreciate it. So anyone has any new CXC past paper, want to send them to me, guys, you can either email me or DM me through my Instagram. You can follow my Instagram. The link is in the description. Alright, thank you so much. So the other questions here, it says we need to list 3 pieces of information other than the expiry date that may be printed on the label of the TVP product. So we know first thing first about the TVP product, right? The 3 pieces of information other than the expiry date that must be printed on the label would have been the manufacturing date. So we know about the manufacturing date. So we are talking about when the product would have been manufactured, when the product would have made. We're not talking about when it would have expired. So we'd have seen where the product would have manufactured. So where was the company and where was it manufactured. Then we know about the nutritional value, right? When you're talking about the nutritional value, guys would have seen if the food would have any protein, I would say calcium, all of those. We need to know about how many carbohydrate, how many fat, how many of all of those nutritive. So we're talking about the nutritive values in it. Alright. Therefore, we know about the company name. So we have seen if it's Grace, Kennedy, or we are talking about Pings, or we are talking about Cals, or any of those. Right? So what they are talking about the company name. And we are talking about the name of the product now. And the name of the product would have been, so they only ask for 3, I only give 4. So the name of the product would have been, like, for example, Grace Bean, alright, baked bean, broad bean, butter bean, all of those stuff, string bean, mixed vegetables, just for example, guys. Alright, so those would have been the I would say the product, the name of the product. That would be the all of the printed labels that would have been there. Alright, Good, guys. All right, so the other question here, it says, as a member of, debating team, it is your turn to respond to the opposing team that discuss the advantage of using convenient food. So convenience food, you guys need to know what does this term mean. So if you do not know this term, anyone had, I would say, a book, please to write down this term or try to memorize the term convenient food. All right, so let me just go ahead and go through. So this says we need to discuss 4 disadvantages of using convenience food. All right, when you're talking about convenient food, what you're talking about? Listen to the key term, guys. Convenient food. All right. So first thing first, we know that convenient food can be food that we all love, right? Such as we can even could say we love, like, milk, nuts, vegetables, all of those food that's we mean preserved, processed meat, cheese. We know about cheese, canned cheese, and all of those stuff, guys. All right, so those are convenient food. We know that, like, such as candy, chocolate. We know about soft drinks. We know about nuts, snacks, processed, like, cheese. We know everyone love, I would say, bun and cheese. Those are food that's been, preserved in the sense. So we're talking about convenient food. So the term for convenient food now, guys, convenient food would be the commercially, I would say, food that's been prepared for the ease of consumption. This is normally used, I would say, ready to eat food without even, further preparation. So these are food that's already been prepared. All right, so we don't have to go at home and cook any food. For example, such as this, those foods are food that been processed, right? That's already on shelf. So you guys, like, cheese, it's already been prepared. You guys could just go in the supermarket and just grab a tin of cheese, go home, cut it, heat it with a bun, and you're good. So those are, convenient food. So we need to discuss 4 disadvantages of using convenient food. And I think you guys should learn something new. What does convenient food mean? So if they were supposed to access in the exams tomorrow, that you need to list 4 types of convenient food, you guys could know that food that's already been manufactured and it's already been on shelf, that you guys don't have to prepare. All right, so that's what the meaning of convenient food mean. All right, good. Second, it says the 4 disadvantages. So first disadvantage would be like they contain a large amount of fat and salt. So we know about processed food. That's why they mention that enough processed food is not good, because it contains large amount of fat and salt. We normally know that they normally contain SMG, and we know that SMG is not good for us. And we also know that they can be additives. So we're talking about like too much coloring, adding too much artificial flavored, that leading to being overweight. Those things are leading to be overweight, and it's not neutrally sound. So what you're talking about neutrally sound, guys, it's not safe. All right, it's not safe in the sense, even though we all love processed food, and processed food is normally known as convenience food. Those foods are food like sausages, beans, all of those stuff, cheese, and all of those stuff, chips, and all of those stuff with those spicy ingredients, tangs, and all of those stuff, artificial flavor. They are not real. Light noodles, yes. Taiwan. Light noodles, yes, I know what you mean. Light noodles, SMG, that has too much SMG in them. It's not good. Artificial flavor and seasoning and all of those, not good. Good. All right. So the other questions here that he says, a housewife has prepared a main dish of a lunch menu in very limited time. So we need to suggest 2 groups of convenient food that from which she may choose to prepare the main dish. So first thing first, about corned beef, right? Well, it's not everyone eat corned beef, I could say, but just saying, this would be a popular one, corned beef. So first thing first, one convenient food that she may choose to prepare from the main dish should be corned beef and noodle. Or otherwise we can say noodle. We are talking about, like, it's a noodle. It's the same noodle. The pasta noodle, corned beef and noodle. So this would be the two, two group of food that we should may, choose to prepare as main dish. Spam, yes. Those are convenient food, yes. Kevon. Alright, good. So far, guys, we have received 60 mark for all of the questions that we would have answered so far. And it's very simple. Alright, so if we score every section of the paper, we should be good. Trust me, we should be good. Alright, this is the final part of the 2014 paper, guys. I'll be going over more paper. So let me just go through these questions real fast so we can move along. Alright, good. So it says we need to list, two factors that should be considered when planning meal. So I need everyone to listen. So what is the two factor that we should consider when planning meal? So first thing first, let me just scroll up this a little bit so you guys won't see any answer. So guys, if you were supposed to do a cookout, right? How long you're streaming, sir? SBRH, I'm streaming until I finish all of these, 3 papers in total. So I don't know when I'm going bed as yet. Probably 1 o'clock. Alright, just trying to get this out of the way. Alright, so they're talking about the factor of, preparing food. We know that first thing first, when you're preparing food, guys, for a large amount of group of people, I could say. Alright, the question asks when you're planning a meal. So when you're planning a meal, guys, we all know that what is very important is the amount of person we are planning the meal for. So we're talking about the availability of people we are planning the meal for. Also the income. Good, SBARH, good. Because remember, we have to know about our budget. Food is very expensive. We can't choose food that is, before we even know how many person we are planning the meal for, that we are talking about availability. We are talking about income, budget, gender, good. SBARH, good term, alright? So those are all of them: income, budget, and gender, age, and food availability. Good, Kevon, good. We're having some good listener here and learners as well. So these are it, guys. So first thing, we see the availability of food. We would see at the number of person consuming the meat. So we want to know how many persons, yes, like Mason. So you know that Mason would need enough, I would say, carbohydrate in their food also, to ensure that they would have the energy, Alright, so we need to know the number of person consuming the meal. We need to know about the income, the age, gender, occupation, food in season. Alright, food in season. Good. So we're just gonna move along, guys. Everyone, special needs. Alright. Let me move along. So this is a table, guys. This is a basic cover, place the settings are for lunch. Good. So here we need to match the utensils. So first thing first, I need everyone to know how to label, not just to label, but to match the table. Alright. Food preferences. Yes, Allison. Good. How much people? Good. Alright. So first thing first, guys, we need to know about the table. So when you're going to the exams tomorrow, we need to know about the table. Alright, so we need to know about the table, how to label the table, because they may throw this on the question tomorrow. So first thing first, you know that D would be what? The dinner fork, right? Good night, Fletcher. Good night. Alright. Good night, everyone. Guys, make sure you guys drop a like on the video, guys. Can I get at least 60 likes on the stream so far? And feel free to share the stream, alright? And you guys can follow my Instagram. The link is in the description, and we're moving forward, alright? No sleep, guys. We're killing sleep. No sleep, please. Alright? Ensure you guys wash your face with some water so you guys don't sleep. Alright, because we need to understand the concept before. So tomorrow when you go into the CXC paper, guys, you guys could smile. Alright, Kaylee. Alright, good night, Kaylee. Good night. Alright, good. So here we are talking about D. So D would have been the dinner fork. So we need to know about the settings of the table. So first thing we need to know about the settings of the table. So D would have been the dinner fork. A here would have been what? The dessert fork. Good. And the spoon soup now, guys, would be where? C. So this is this the spoon that we use to drink soup. Very simple. Alright? And we'd have seen that the dessert spoon now. Where is the dessert spoon? So we need to know about all of these things. So the dessert spoon would be here. Alright? So we need to know about this thing, guys. So the dessert fork. So we have the dessert fork beside the dessert spoon. So we need to know this. Dessert fork here. Dessert spoon here. Dinner fork here. And what we have here? We have the soup spoon. So we'd have seen the soup spoon here, and then this would be the what? The knife. Right? This is the knife that you use to cut the chicken and all of those stuff. Very simple. So far, guys, it's 1-1 mark. So far, 4 question, 4 mark. Very easy. Very, very easy, guys. Foods is not hard, alright? Common sense. Alright? We're moving forward. So it says the Double Wing restaurant was given to the award for the most hygienic restaurant by the Restaurant Association. So what we need to do here is to suggest 3 hygiene practice employed by the cook in the preparation of meal that may have contributed to high ratings. So first thing first, guys, what is the 3 hygiene practice employed by the cook? So we know that we need to separate in raw and cooked product. So let me explain something to you here, guys. When we are in the kitchen, right? What is the practice that's been highlighted? We need to know that we always need to separate raw food from cooked products. The reason why we are talking about cross-contamination. We all know about cross-contamination, guys. It's not good for our health. Alright? So the knife that we would have used to cut the meat, the raw meat, is not what we use to cut the bread. We need to, we understand the reason why we don't do that, because cross contamination. We're talking about microorganisms, those microbe organ. So those are stuff, guys, for examples that are harmful to our I would say to our health. We know we are talking about chicken that has the harmful not just bacteria, but it had harmful bacteria that is not good for health. All right. So first thing first, guys, we know that we need to separate the raw food from cooked product, and we need to use color coded cutting board. And the reason why we need to use the color coded cutting board, or we can use cutting board that is being I would say acceptable to the cooking standard, is because we don't want to use the same cutting board that we are using to cut meat to cut vegetable at the same time. Not good. Alright? Good. And next thing, we know that we need to wash our hands and cleanse the counter. So we need to sanitize the counter after and preparing each dish. So remember, guys, in cooking, we know that as you clean, or I would say, as you clean, you do what? You go. As you clean, you go. As you clean, you go. So do not, in the kitchen cooking and you leaving, whatever. Alright, so remember the labeling of the cow, please. Sure, no problem, Taiwan. I will, yes. Thank you for remembering me. Alright, do the label egg as well. Yes, the label egg as well. Yes. True. I will go through those, guys. Just a few, alright? Good. So it says we already finished. We need to suggest 3 hygiene practices employed by the waiter and the waitress in the service of meal may have contributed to high rating. So this is a different one, but we are talking about no, not just the cook. So we're not talking about the person who cooked the food now. We're not talking about the cooks. We are talking about the waitress, the waiter. The waiter, guys, what the waiter need to do now. Alright, so we need to look for the keyword so we can know what they are talking about. List 3. Hygiene practices. Alright, so we need to know the 3 hygiene practices that the waiter or waitress should, include. So we know that no putting their hands in the food. So no waitress should put their hands in any food. Alright, guys, not good. And they should not talk over the food. That is a bad manner. Alright, so you call that bad table manners. It's not good. All right, good. Another one. Wearing the correct PPE. What you're talking about, guys, is like ensuring that, like for example, the aprons they are wearing is to ensure that it's cleaned. All right, so ensure that it's been cleaned. No dirty aprons, guys. Good. And next one, it says we need to explain the process, by which the brisket, a tough cut of beef, become tender when stewed in a pressure cooker. And let me say something to you guys. This one will be a repeated one. Alright? Very keenly one, guys. This one will be a repeated one. So I need everyone to understand what's going on here. This question is a repeat one. So first thing, we know that the brisket would become tenders because when we stewed in the pressure cooker, we have talking about the collagen. So the collagen is broken down, which make the brisket tendered and become we are talking about the gelatinized. So we're talking about the gelatinized, guys. This will become the meat to become soft. All right. That is what we are talking about, guys. So we need to understand. So this is the end of the 2014 paper so far, and I need everyone to go ahead and like the video if you haven't liked the video already. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Thank you for making it with csecnow. I will be going through the other paper now on the live so you guys could have a clearer understand. Let me know how much you understand so far through the 2014 paper 2. Alright, and it's very easy, guys. I'm just gonna go over to the 2019 paper now. So let me know before I go over to the 2019 paper. Did you guys enjoy the video? How was it? Alright, did you learn nothing? Did you learn anything new? Yes or no? We are in ahead. Knit our chef hat. Yes, Delisha. That could be one. You're good. You're good. Alright? Good one. Good point. So does everyone understand, guys? This is the end of the paper. 2014 paper, alright? So I would say any comments before I move on, because I'm moving on to the this is about 2018 or 2019? 2019 paper 2. So you guys, these are different questions. So does everyone understand so far? Let me know in the comment section, please, alright? Easy paper. Alright, good SPH. I want to hear more input. Kevon says yes. So you understand? Does everyone understand the paper? Let me know. Any comments? Feel free to let me know. So before I move on, alright? Because all of these questions will be repeated on your paper tomorrow, on your paper 2, and I need everyone to, get the concept before the exams. Alright. Alright, so bad table etiquette. Oh, so the etiquette, no, the table etiquette. What you need to know about the table, first thing you need to know, we're talking about the table etiquette. So bad table etiquette is like talking about table practices, alright? We know that you should not talk when you're over the table and all of that. So we need to know about the principle of the table etiquette. I says I already seen some of these questions. Yes, Delisha. Most of these questions will be repeated. Alright, guys, so we're just gonna move along to the 2019 paper here, and this is a 2019 May slash, let me see, I think it's May slash June. Let me check if it's the July paper as well. Let me check. Yes, this is a May paper, May slash June 2019 paper 2. And we are going over these questions, and I need everyone. Let me say something to you guys. First thing first, on the paper tomorrow, you guys may see this question as the first question on the paper. Alright, sleeping away? No, not sleeping away, Emma. Try get some water and wash your face. Alright, good. We're not sleeping, because I don't want you guys to miss out the most important part. Alright, so here, this question has always been repeated on paper 2, and I need you guys to know they're not going to change it. They will have to put this question in your paper tomorrow. So we need to know what is the difference between nutritional status. Alright, and when we are talking about nutritional status, guys, you see that they are referring to 2 marker here. So first and foremost, guys, to receive the 2 mark, what we need to do is to define the what the word they need you to define, and we need to give examples. Please give an example so you guys could get the 2 mark. Alright, each example it's 1 mark like this. 1 mark each example and 1 mark for the definition. So 1 mark for definition, 1 for example. That is how you get your 2 mark. Do not just give straight definition, please. And I need you guys to remember this in your mind, alright? Each time you go into the exams and you um, answer each question, please give examples. Alright, so if you do not know what you're talking about, give examples. So I would say your definition may not be, I would say, correct, but at least your example would be correct. So they know that you understand, but they know that you do not know how to explain yourself. You understand? Good. So here, the term nutritional status, guys, meaning the state of a person's health in terms of the nutrients in or his diet, perhaps. So we are talking about the state of a person. So when you're talking about nutritional status, we are seeing that the state of a person is being in the nutrients in his or her diet. So, for example, we know, like, for example, I would say a elderly person, we know that we'd have normally intake, a lot of fruits and vegetables in their diet. Alright, so they were talking about the state of a person. So we also know that a person who is very elderly, in the sense of person who have, I would say, diabetes or having hypertension, we know that you should not intake a lot of salt in their diet. So we know about their state of the person's health in terms. So that is what we are mentioning to nutritional status. So we can say, example, a hypertension person or a diabetes person, a diabetic person. So we can say, example, a diabetic person. All right, simple. And we could receive the other 1 mark, I would say, for example, right? So that you can say another diabetic person, right? Example, a diabetic person. Simple. Because they will not just give you, whole 2 mark for, 1 definition, perhaps. So you'd have to give, another, I would say, example to receive the other 2 marks. So far we'd have received 1 mark for the example and 1 mark for the definition. So we'd have received 2 mark in total. Does everyone understand why we should always give example? Good. Alright, we're moving along. Alright, so the other question here, it says, we need to know about this. This is very, I would say, this one always repeated, guys. Always repeated as well. So, this is the A, B, C, D assessment. So, we need to know about the A, B, C, D assessment, right? We need to know about that, guys. It's very crucial and common in the foods and nutrition health. Every year in CXC past paper, they normally bring this, the ABC D assessment. So it's a dietary assessment. So here, when we are talking about the ABC assessment, we are talking about the anthropometric. All right, so we need to know about these, guys. So when you're talking about the ancho, the ancho, let me just explain it to you. So you're talking about the anthropometric um measurements. We are talking about, like, for example, the I would say the waist measurements. So they have the waist measurements, guys. They normally measure, like, the waist, your head, and all of those. Those is where I'm talking about the anthropometric, measurement. All right. When you're talking about now the biochemical assessment, we know that the biochemical assessment would normally detect, like, for example, the amount of the liquid or fluid or whatever. So for the biochemical assessment, what they normally do is to ensure that they would have normally get a test of the the liquid or fluid, perhaps, right? So that is the difference between biochemical assessment. So in the sense of detect the nutrient depletion stage that's been used. All right. For you, I would say clinical assessment. Now we need to know the difference between clinical assessment, and the whole reason why I'm just giving you guys the definition It's because most of the times they may told you to do, just give a few example of what these do, so you guys could understand. So we know that the clinical now assessment would be where they have been conducting, like for example, detect any signs of of malnutrition, such as we know that for the I would say the assessment, when you are doing the clinical assessment, guys, what they normally look for, they ensure that they are looking for a person that can be sick, in the sense of it, like they normally do in scan. So they not what they normally do, guys, is doing scan. All right. So they just want to ensure that, for example, if a baby were supposed to be sick, they would have normally doing scan, doing here and all of those. Here head conserve friends. Yes, good. All right. So for the dietary assessment now, guys, we are talking about in regards to their diet. So they are talking about dietary assessment. We are talking about eventually to, I would say, it would be like a collection of data, in the sense of information on the food that they should be consumed over the specific time that is been coded therefore. Alright, so we are talking about like the dietary constituents, like using the food composition table. So we are seeing that they are talking about like mentioning or eating from the the food groups, the different food groups. So that's where we're talking about the dietary assessment. So first four types, or let's say four types of assessment method that is being generally used in the nutritional status is the anthropometric. So once you know about the ABC, so we need to know about this, guys, the ABC nutritional assessment. All right, so ABCD. Once you know about this, so the A would stand for the anthropometric measurement, B biochemical assessment, C clinical assessment, D dietary assessment. I would have received 4 clean, easy marks here, guys. Very simple. Alright? I hope everyone is following. Alright, and this question is very simple. Very, very simple. Trust me, that guys, this paper look like a 2023, because the 2023 paper will look similar to this one. All right, good. So here, it says we need to suggest 3 reasons why the effective management of diabetes mellitus is costly. So they are talking about diabetes mellitus, guys. What are you talking about? We are talking about like the insulin of the diabetes, the medicine, the injection, or the insulin that it have used to the diabetes insulin. So therefore we are seeing that the government expenditure, so we're talking about the government spending. So the government spending, this would cost due to the expense that the government would have been put out towards the whole assessing of the person with diabetes. All right. Secondly, guys, we have seen that paying for monthly checkup and medication for these persons. So the government here would have been spending money to ensure that they would have been doing their monthly checkup and giving medication for this person who would have been diabetes. Therefore, another one would have been here is when you're talking about the disposable income. So what you're talking about disposable income, we're talking about, we have seen that person with diabetes who would have to change their diet. Not just to change their diet, but they would have to consume more fresh food, such as fruits and vegetables that could have been more costly. Because remember, guys, to change your diet, it costs money. So not just for you to to stop feed on most, I would say, carbohydrate food, but if you were supposed to just go ahead and feed on legumes and vegetables, it would cost you more because you would spend more. So therefore, in additional, some people may have to spend their money to purchase medication. So this is the reason why it is very costly. And let me say something to you guys. This question is a must tomorrow. Is a must, and I need everyone to pay attention. It is a must. It will. Trust me, guys. This question will repeat tomorrow. It will. It is 100%. All right. About the diabetes mellitus. Trust me, guys. All right. The another one now would have been where we are talking about the human resource capacity. So when you're talking about human resource capacity, We are talking about families of diabetic person. So, so we are seeing that they are most likely to, save money to put towards the diabetes persons in their family. So we are seeing that groceries and other things that they may have cut down on due to the lack of money in their household. So they are having less of money in their household. So what the family do here is to go ahead and cut down towards, the diabetes person in their family, groceries and other things that may, cut to the lack of money in household. So these are the three, reasons why we have seen that diabetes, mellitus is very costly. So first thing first, we know that government would have been spending money, output there, to doing medications and checkup, and we know that the income. So you're talking about income, you're talking about changing of diet. So in order to change your diet, it's very, hard. It's very costly. And we are talking about the human resource capacity now. We're talking about their family. Therefore, they have to cut down on groceries and on those stuff in regards, to help save money towards that, a diabetic person in their family. Alright, because we all know that a diabetes person does, they can't eat any food perhaps. So we'd have to change their diet. Alright? Good. Alright, good. Does everyone following? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Does everyone following? Can we get at least 65 likes on the stream, guys? Let's go, alright? Can we get at least 65 likes on the stream and we're moving forward, alright? Trying to go through these papers soon as possible, guys. Alright, so after I finish these 3 papers, I will be ending the stream and going straight to bed. So let's go. Alright, let's go, guys. Let's go. So it says outline 2 reasons why pregnant women are required to have the increase of iron. Alright, let me say something to you guys. This question is a must. This question is a must, guys. This question is a must. I need everyone to pay attention. They are going to give you this question. They're going to give you this question, but they're going to repeat. They're going to repeat it in a sense. They're not just going to say for a pregnant woman, but they are going to say for the baby, not just for the pregnant woman, but for the baby. All right. So we need everyone to understand, guys. These questions will be a must. All right, Shania. Good. Welcome to everyone. Welcome to everyone that's watching the live. If you're new here, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the post notification, and like the video. We have 41 person watching the video. Can have at least 70 likes on the stream, guys. Alright, thank you so much, and feel free to follow my Instagram. The link is in the description. Alright, I really appreciate it. Let's go. So here, guys, they say we need to outline 2 reasons why pregnant women are required to have increase intake of iron in their diet. And first thing, we all know that this is the cater for the growing of the baby. So the iron in the diet, guys, would have been to ensure that the baby is not born with deficiency. So you're talking about deficiency, we are talking about less iron. So we are seeing that the baby, to ensure that baby is not born with less iron in the body, which can cause anemia. So this is what we are talking about. Anemia. So this is anemia is a short level of the hemoglobin within the blood. The oxygen is low, right? Low oxygenated blood. Alright, so due to the iron is being important in the red blood cell, because we know that the iron is being the formation between the red blood cell. Alright, and another one would be to build the blood before the mother give birth to the baby. Because we know that many women loses a lot of blood, during the year, I would say, at that time when they are having baby to conceive the child. So it's just to ensure that the mother can build back blood and increase the intake of blood. That is very important to the mom. Kevon says for growing the baby and supply blood to the mother. Good. To the mother. Yes, good, Kevon. Pregnant woman may lose excessive blood during your birth. Yes, Delisha, good. Alright, good.
Alright guys, so these are very simple. That would have received 4 marks so quick. And it's very simple. Guys, as I mentioned, this question will be repeated. Do not take this for granted. Try gather this information. Very good solid point. Alright. Another one now. It says we need to state 2 functions of food. This is a common sense question. And this one is a repeated one as well. Anyone that I type the R on it, guys, alright, the R, it means repeated. This one is a very repeated one as well. So 2 functions, we can see that, food are, to provide energy for the body. And we are seeing that, it's to supply nutrients to the body. So these are 2 very easy marks. 2 very simple, easy marks. Alright? This is a function of food. Function of food is to provide energy for the body. We all know that. To supply nutrients to the body. Right? Good. Alright, another question. It says Samantha is 50 pounds overweight. Alright? And she attempt of losing the 50 pounds. She reduced in the intake of her carbohydrate. Discuss 2 effects in the adequate consumption of carbohydrate on Samantha health. This question, trust me guys, this paper look like I would say a 2023 paper. Everything repeated. Because I know how the 2023 paper look alike. And this paper, trust me, everything that I'm reading here, guys, is the same that's on the 2023 paper. I need everyone to pay attention about this question. They will not just use Samantha, they may use Mary. They may use Mary this time or Roy or something, guys. They may just change up the name, but it's the same scenario about carbohydrate. So we need to discuss 2 effects of the inadequate. So you're talking about inadequate, you're talking about the not appropriate or the inappropriate consumption of carbohydrate and the health. So you're talking about consuming inadequate amount of carbohydrate can cause her to have a sign of symptoms due to the deficiency. So you're talking about not consuming enough carbohydrate. So you're seeing that it causes to the deficiency of nutrients, which some of these may include nausea, fatigue, and loss of energy. So in additional now, guys, we have seen that the individual may have low blood pressure. Not just low blood pressure, sorry. What I'm talking about, low blood sugar level, which can, cause seizures. So, low blood sugar levels can cause seizures, dizziness, and other conditions. So this is a 2 effect that the inadequate of consumption of the carbohydrate can have on the health of Samantha. Alright, good. Very easy, guys. Easy 2 points. And we have seen that we have received 6 marks so far. Alright, guys, and I still remember about the diagram of the cow, alright? Good. So it says minerals, though required in small amount, are essential for the normal functioning of the body. So we need to explain 2 ways in which calcium is important to each of the following group. This one is a repeated one. I need everyone to pay attention. Each question that I write the R on, I need everyone to pay attention. This question will be repeated tomorrow. Alright, when you guys see this paper tomorrow, you guys will be laughing. Trust me, remember that csecnow, told you this. Guys, I never predict anything and it didn't come to pass. You all know this. Every single paper that I reviewed and I tell you what is coming on the exam, normally, but there will be a new diagram tomorrow, guys, on the foods paper that you guys need to know about. So you need to know about co-production, right? You need to know about the co-production, guys, the process of the milk. You need to know about that. You will see a slightly, I would say, a slightly difference this time. They're not just going to ask about cow, that you just need to label the parts of the cow, but they're going to mention about milk. So you need to know about milk production. Production of, ripening. The ripening of the cheese and all of those. Milk production, guys, all of those. Please pay attention. So we know that minerals here, guys,
So minerals, they says minerals, though required, in small amount, are essential for the normal functioning of the body. So we know that we need to explain two ways in which calcium is important to each of the group. So why does calcium is, we'd say, a adolescent female? Why calcium is important to a adolescent female? So we all know that calcium would needed for adolescent female, for growth, which would be an important to the bones to ensure that they would have been healthy and strong. So for calcium, we all know that calcium helps with bones, the growth of the bones, having your bones function well, right? Ensure that they are healthy and strong. Good? So that is the reason. Guys, trust me, I can bet my life on that, guys, that you will see most of these questions tomorrow, and the topics that I'm telling you about, you will see. Mention about the cow. We need to know about the milk production. We need to know about what is pasteurization, all of those stuff. And I will be showing you an image of the diagram that you should be able to study. If possible, you may see that tomorrow. Yes, they never teach you about cow, but let me say something to you. And what CXC normally do, the CXC go off track most of the times. Alright? Alright? And what happened, CXC may just throw a random image and they may just tell you to label it. Alright? So for babies, guys, let's do, straight from the point. I will go through that when I'm finished. Alright, so why does baby need calcium? Your teacher doesn't teach you about the cow, but I will teach you about it. All right, there's difference. So at least you can have a better idea. My teacher never teach me about cow in my time, but I did have to know about it on my own. Do not just rely on teacher, guys. Do your own research. All right, good. All right, good. So why does baby need calcium? We all know that baby need calcium, and it's very important because the calcium will have helped the baby to grow healthy bones, teeth, and also will be we all know that a deficiency of calcium can cause rickets. So this would prevent baby from having rickets. We all know about what you know what is rickets, guys, when their foot look, I would say their leg foot, look a little bit bold, like bend. Rickets. It's a condition of lack of calcium. Alright? Alright, good. So we all know the reason why baby should intake of calcium, because it's important for the health and growth of the bone and teeth, and also to prevent rickets. That because we all know that rickets is very common if they're lack of calcium. Yes, and to prevent rickets, Kevon. Remember, I used to give an example to prevent rickets. The more you can elaborate on your yes and the egg, SBR. I will show you the structure of the egg. I'll show you the label, just a few, alright? Um, this question now. It says we need to state two functions of water and two sources of water in the diet. Alright? Alright, so good. What is the two function of water, guys, in the body? We need to know this. And I need everyone to pay attention. This one will be a repeated one on your question tomorrow, but it will be in a different form. They may just tell you just to outline two functions of water, not just in the body. They may just tell you about, go ahead and tell you that you need to outline, or just state two functions of water. Alicia, you're asking if I'm literally acting like as if I see the paper. No, I know, no, I don't see the paper as yet, but I know for sure what's coming on it. I know, trust me. And you guys will thank me later, alright? Trust me. And as soon as the paper come out, guys, you guys can feel free to send me. Trust me, alright? You guys have my email. The email will be in my description. Alright, good. I know nothing about the paper, guys. Do not get me in trouble. Alright? Good. So first thing we know that to function of the water in the body, guys, it normally first thing we know that the water would have quench our thirst, and it provide water to the body cell, right? So what the water would have doing is to quench our thirst and to provide water to the cell, right? To prevent dehydration. Good. Alright. And another one, guys, in additional, we know that water is used to regulate the body temperature. So the water is helped to, keep our body under temperature. We know that. Regulate body temperature. Good, Delisha. Good. Flush your kidney as well. Yes, good. That is a function. Yes. It's not just my function as well that I write here. It can be flush your kidney as well. Good. SBRH. Good. The chalaza hold the egg of the yolk. Okay, Alison. So you're talking about the function of the egg now. The diagram, we know that the chalaza hold the egg in the place, while the albumin, which is also the egg white, good, the shell outer membrane, and the white velitus. That is what I remember. Not bad. Alison, not bad. Water is needed for lubrication of the joint. Good, Alison, good. Loosen your joint, yeah, so the joint don't be seized up. Lubrication of your joint. Good, Alison, good. Alright, so we're moving forward, guys. So what is the two sources of water in our diet now? We need to know about the two sources. So we know that fruits and vegetables, right? Such as cucumber. I mean, it's not just cucumber alone and lettuce. We can even say melon. Because melon hold like, let me see how many percent of water. 65? I think it will like 65% of watermelon hold, because the fruit that has the most water in it should be melon. Yes, melon. So melon, guys, hold a lot of water in it. Right. All right. Oh, I'm using 2L. Sorry. I know I am using 2L. What I'm doing though? So we know that melon, guys, sorry, would have, have a lot of water. So melon is a source of water, guys, because it have it. Yes, it also, yes, you're mentioning that water help to prevent constipation. Good, good, SPRH. You have a good point. Yes. So here we know that the sources of water. So we are talking about where does water come from. So we know that water come from fruits such as melon. We know that melon has a lot of water in it. We know that cucumber had a lot of water in it as well. Also, we know that soup and other dishes that are high in liquid. But we are talking about the sources. So the main source would have been fruit and vegetables. We know that most of these would have been the sources. Alright? Good. Does everyone understand? It's very simple and precise. 4 mark would have received here so far, and it's very easy. Alright? So we know that fruits. Mango. Well, yes, Alicia, mango had water, but not enough water, as you say. But it is a source of water. So you're correct. But when we are trying to say most, we know that melon has the most water. Melon, cucumber, I'd say, even a coconut. Coconut have good source of water. Right? Good source of water. And all of that. And even more fruits that has a lot of water, guys. You can name them. Alright, let me say something to you. And I need everyone to understand here. I'm so sorry I didn't write this one, guys. What is the difference between a table d'hote and a table à côté? Alright, let me just go ahead and, explain to you guys what's going on here. So, let me just write something here. This one will be a must. This one will be a repeated one as well, and this one as well. You see the table d'hote and the table à côté? I would say a la carte. A la tacate, whatever they call it. A la carte. Alright? You see these two meaning? I need everyone to pay attention. Because these two will be repeated. The table d'hote and a la carte. So they want to know the difference between table d'hote and a la carte. Alright, so we're just gonna go along. Alright, good. So first thing first, guys, what is a brunch? We all need to know the definition of a brunch. Alright, so if we do foods, we need to know what is a brunch. And remember, guys, to give examples of brunch. When you're talking about brunch, you know that we need to give an example. Alright, we can't just write the brunch like the brunch is a meal that consume after breakfast and before lunch. That is one mark. We literally lose. Remember, each time you write, give an example, please. So example of a brunch, we need to know example of brunch. So if a brunch is, I would say, food that is being heated, I would say consumed, after breakfast and before lunch. What is that? We can say pancakes. We can say French toast, cinnamon rolls. We can also say, coffee cake, muffins, and all of that. So, for example, um, you don't have to hate this topic, Kevon. It's very easy, alright? So, we can say muffins. Right? This would give you the 2 marks, guys. Very simple. Remember, do not write your definition without an example. Trust me. You will thank me later. And you guys will wonder, how did I know this? This is what I studied from CXC. Do not just write your question, or I would say your answer. Sorry, not questions. What I'm saying though. Oh, my head is a little bit mixing up, guys. Alright, never mind. Do not just write your answers without an example. So each time you define the term, you need to give an example. So if you know what is a brunch is, you need to give the example of a brunch. And you should be good. So example, muffins. So basically once they see that you talk about muffins, they would say, oh yeah, he or she know what they are talking about. Right? So they would know that you know what is a muffin that is normally, being consumed before or after, I would say, before lunch. And then they would know that you know the meaning of a brunch. So therefore they would just give you 2 marks. Right? That's all simple. So you guys need to give example and give your definition. Simple, 2 marks. So alright, we are going to the big topic now, guys. I'm so sorry I didn't get to write the I would say the definition here, but I'm just gonna explain it, and I will see if I could use the cursor here and give a few tips. So first thing first, guys, what is the meaning between I would say the difference between table d'hote and a la carte? So this is one. So for the table d'hote, we all know that the table d'hote is a menu with a set of course that has a set of price. So let me say something to you guys. The table d'hote, let me just write it so you guys could understand. Alright, so I can't really write good with this cursor, but I'm gonna try my best. Alright, so the table d'hote. Let me just write it so you guys could understand. Alright, and trust me, I need everyone to pay attention. No one sleep. Alright guys, trust me, your education is way more better than sleep. You guys could sleep after. Alright? Try to get a fixed price that consists of a 3 meal course is that price. Yes, Alicia. So when you're talking about table d'hote is normally, is set. So it's like a set price. So it's a meal that has a set price. Right, so let me just write it so you guys could, because I try to teach in my best form that everyone can understand. I don't teach long form. I teach in a short form so everyone could understand what I'm talking about. So we know that table d'hote is is a meal that has a let me just write it here. Meal that has a that has a meal that has a it's just a moment, guys, please. That has a set price. So does everyone know what does the meal? What is a table d'hote? Does everyone know what a table d'hote now? So a table d'hote is a meal that has a set price. Simple definition, not hard. Alright, simple. So what is a table I would say a la carte now. So we can say a table d'hote has a set price while. So this is how we write when they are asking about what is the difference between these two. While la carte, just a moment. While la carte, let me see here. So la carte, just a moment. All right. Trust me, guys. You know, everyone will understand when I finish. Trust me. So you know that at table de hote mean that has a meal at a set price, while a la carte no. So the la carte no is a menu that has in a large variety of course that is usually priced. At the table we are talking about the table. Alright? So here's difference. Um so while a la carte, you know, is a menu. Oh my gosh, I don't know why this is saying this. My battery is dying, guys. Let me plug in my charger because I don't want the stream to end. Yes, Delisha, good. So the La Carte is a wide variety of course that is, usually within price. Good. So one is just as fixed price. So the fixed price one, guys, it only had like a course. So it have like for example a 3 meal course that is just a fixed price. So it's just one price that you choose. So it could even be like for example a $3 meal, right? While we know the lacate, the lacate would be like a meal that has even like $20 or $15. So it has a large variety of courses that you'd have to choose from, but it's large variety, so it's many you can choose from. While the table de hote is just one set. Does everyone understand what is the difference between a table I would say a table, the hote, and a la carte? So there's one that, so for the table de hote now, guys, it has a meal that has a set price. So when you're talking about set price, you're talking about fixed, just like we'd have a fixed deposit. Let me just write it here so you guys could understand what's going on here. All right. While a la carte is I would say a la carte would be a menu. So it's a menu. Let me just write it here. So it's a menu. Let me just write it here, guys, so you guys could understand. Just a moment. So it's a menu. Having. Write it here. The having. Let me just write it here because it's a little bit hard to write it. Alright, so it's a menu that having, I would say wide variety. It's very hard to me to write with this, just a moment, guys, and my keyboard is giving me a little problem. My bad. Alright, so it's having a large, I would say, a large variety of, variety of course. So variety of course, just a moment. COUREC. So you have a large course, that is price. That is price. Is price. Just a moment, guys. So sorry, alright, because this one I didn't get to type it, so I did have to write it with my hand. Alright, so this is the difference between this. So we know that a table de hote is a meal that has a set price. So we're talking about fixed. While I would say a la carte is a menu having a wide variety of course that is price. Alright? So can you go live in the morning, Ashley? I will try my best. Ariana, what's up? Good night. Good night. I haven't. Oh, you were here all along. Oh, good. All right. So does everyone understand what is the meaning between a table de hote and a table la carte? Let me know before I move along, guys. Exam in the afternoon. Yes, Tamai. You have exam in the afternoon. Does everyone understand the meaning now? What is the difference between table de hote and a table la carte? Let me know. So tomorrow you guys can, dominate this exam. Dominate. Let's go. You're welcome, Tamai. So that is the difference between a table de hote and a table la carte. When we normally see in this definition, guys, we always get stunted by this, definition, because we don't know what it means. But we all know what it means now. A table de hote is a meal that has a fixed price. So when you talk about hote, fixed price. Carte Kote is meaning when we are having a large amount of, course. I would say a course like meal, but it's been priced. So they are priced separately. So for example, guys, when you are going for like a hotel, if you guys know about hotel, if your mom or brother or whatever sister take you to a hotel, it's individually good, individually being priced. So the meal, I would say the meat is being priced separately, while the soup, or I would say the been priced separately, but while the table ote is just one price. So for the table ote, we get the soup, we get the cake, we get the I would say the meat with one price. So one price would be $4. But for the table akate, we have to choose, we have to, price the cake itself. For example, $2 for the cake, $3 for the meat, and $5 for the soup. So it's different price individually. Does everyone understand what's going on here? The difference between table de hote and table akate. And I explain it as easier as I can do. Easy form. Very easy. And we're moving along. We're moving out through, guys. We're not spending too much time on this one question. 4 easy mark. See? 4 easy mark. Trust me, guys, it's not if it will come back. I'm telling you, SBA Arch, these questions will be a must. Do not worry yourself. It will be a must. Alright, good. So this here, the quiz says we need your class, you need to, plan to hold a brunch, raise funds. So for its graduation ball. So therefore it says plan the menu for the brunch. So we need to plan I would say a menu for the brunch. So first thing first, we all know about the sachets. So we can say we can go with sachets and pancake salad. Therefore we can also use the fresh salad and the juice. We also can make omelette, carrot, cake, burgers. So these are just the menu that we use to plan. So once we just outline these, guys, we can just outline these and we just receive 4 marks. Simple. So we just need to plan the menu. So when you plan the menu, we're just giving the ideas or the ingredients that we use. So we use sachets, we use the pancake, we use salad. So this would be for the first, in the, in the, like, it's not more like an appetizer. But we are just, it's not just appetizer, it was just for the brunch. Then therefore we could use fresh salad. So fresh salad here, we'd have the juice, then we'd have the omelette, we have carrot, cake, and then we have burger. See, right? So this is the whole 3. So it's like a 3 meal, 3 meal in a sense. Good? Does everyone understand what's going on here? Very simple. And I need everyone to believe in me, guys. I am not God, but at least God give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. God give me the knowledge and with wisdom to teach, to inspire other students to get the same, and trust me, guys, you are the future. You hold the future, right? And I know everyone can pass. We have some lot of future chefs here in the comment section. We have future doctors, teachers, lawyers, and all of that. Alright, claim it. So we can do this, guys. Alright, good. Alright, so we're moving forward now. Alright, so here we have seen the table. Let me see this. Let me see if this will be repeated. They are mentioning about the factors that have low cost. Alright, alright. Well, not really. I don't think this table will be repeated. But you guys still need to know. You guys still to know this though. Alright, so it says you are reminded that majority of students in the class are athletes. Are we what athletes? Sorry. Athletes. Alright. They focus on a healthy lifestyle, which includes healthy eating. Complete the table below to identify and expand 3. I would say not expand, but explain 3 factors to consider when planning the menu. So we all know that the first factor has been identified as explained for you. Alright, good. Yes, guys, they will give you a table like this also. But it's mere generated. But you guys need to know this though. You may not get this table, but you may get it in a sense. But I'm way possible about the few questions that I showed you before. But they will normally give you a table. Alright? Because the paper is wide in variety. They're not just going to give you one topic, but they will give you a table. Alright? Not the same, in the same of this, they will not mention about even food or low cholesterol. They may mention about something else, but in a table format. So you guys need to understand what's going on here. So for the factor now, we know that food should be, or should have a low cholesterol level or content. What we are talking about. Why? We know that food in high cholesterol may be clogged to arteries. So we're talking about arteries. So what we're talking about is we could normally know that the clog of arteries would cause cardiovascular disease. Alright, so we're talking about like heart disease. What what I would say, in a sense, we should not have the clog of the arteries, right? Because it causes, I would say, cardiovascular disease. So first thing first, we know that a factor here would be where food should contain a moderate carbohydrate value. Why? Because carbohydrate prove one of the main source of energy in the diet. So that is the whole explanation. Now let me move along. Food should contain high protein content. Why? Because it contributes to lean build body. So we're talking about the lean build body. We're talking about having enough protein in our body so we could have the lean in our built in our body, therefore. So it contributes to the lean build. Not having overweight. Having muscles, more muscles than fat. Alright? Does everyone understand what's going on here? Good. Now, why food should be low in glucose content? Because this increases the high blood sugar of an individual, right? And we are seeing that it which I would say may lead to diabetes. So we don't need these, to happen. All right, guys, just give me 1 minute real fast. I will be back. I won't take, long. Just a moment, please. All right. All right. All right. Good. All right. Good, guys. I'm back. All right. Well, let me see what's going on here. All right. So here we need to go ahead and you need to know this. All right, guys. This is another repeated one. All right. But this one will not be a sense that it will be, repeated, but you guys should know this one. What is the difference between a non-perishable and a perishable food? Please, I need everyone to understand. What is the difference between a perishable food and a non-perishable food? Alright, so first thing, guys, it says we need to state the name of two perishable food and two non-perishable food. So food that are easy to spoil and food that are hard to, you would say hard to spoil. So food that can keep, off the refrigerator and they can keep, I would say, intact or keep fresh without being spoiled. So for non-perishable food are food that, can keep for a long shelf content life. So we're talking about they do not have a long shelf life in the sense. So for example, tuna and corned beef. They can, good Alicia, milk-based bean. Good. For milk, we know that milk is I would say, a perishable food. Why? Because they doesn't really have long shelf life perhaps. They can be on the shelf for I'll say a couple period of time that they, for example, like 2 months, but after 2 months or after those times they get expired. They are not good anymore. For peas and I would say peas and all of those stuff can keep. So for non-perishable food now, you said perishable food, egg and fish. Yes, egg and fish is perishable. But for non-perishable now. Alright. So for example, we can say here, let me just cross out the tuna and corned beef. But this doesn't make sense, to be honest. We are talking about non-perishable. So we know that here we are talking about peas. So we can know that peas is non-perishable. Or we can say we can also even say flour. Flour, right? So we are talking about dry food without liquid. So food without liquid is non-perishable, right? So we don't need any tuna and any corned beef. This is nonsense because these can spoil. So we're talking about peas and flour. We know that these cannot spoil. You says Ebert is Ebert. You still here? Oh, Shania. All right, good. All right, so peas and flour, guys. These are two, non-perishable. So for two perishable food, now we know that bread, cheese, and we also can say milk. So we can use, milk instead of bread. We can even say milk. Egg. We can even say eggs. Simple. These are food that is, very perishable. All of those stuff. Simple, guys. And we simple get our 4 marks here. Simple. Look how simple it's for you guys. It's not hard, alright? Good. Guys, can we get at least 73 likes on the stream, guys? Let's go. Can we get 70 likes on the stream? Let's go. Alright. Alright, let me go along to the other question. Alright, so here we need to know what is a food infection. Alright, so we need to know this too, guys. This will not be just repeated, but you guys need to know this. I'm not sure about this one, it will repeat it. It's too simple. CXC won't, draw this. One reason for pasteurization of milk. Um, Alicia, I will soon touch base on the cow. Just a moment. Sleep, oh my gosh, sleep is killing you guys. Let me make case and do this paper, alright? So it says define the term food infection. So we know that food infection is caused by the inflammation of the stomach and bowel. Alright, so we can give an example of food infection. So first thing, guys, remember, each time we go along, we need to give an example. Alright, and I always tell you this. The moment you give example is the better for us. Alright, so food infection example, the reason why you need to give example, because when you give example you receive more marks, and the more marks you receive, this is more better for you to go along and get a grade. I would say grade 2 or grade 1, but it's more better for us. So please give examples when you're mentioning about I would say these questions. So for example, another example for food infection, you can also even say food infection. So it can also be if we are eating like for example raw vegetables, vegetables that are examples can also be an inflammation of the stomach when you drink. So we can also mean like bacteria or parasite. So we can even say parasite. So this will be another let me just write it here. Parasite, parasite. So you can also talk about parasite that's meaning lodging food and all of those stuff. But it's most likely like a bacteria, that abdominal pain between the inflammation that lead to even diarrhea. So these are like parasites, and I would say in the sense it's not good. But we all know this. We all know this, and it's very precise and simple. All right, good. Like, just a moment. Alright, let me see something. Alright, good. Alright, so sorry guys, so sorry. So we're talking about parasite, guys. I know that parasite can, live trapped between your, stomach and all of those stuff. So we're talking about the inflammation of stomach and bowel. These are very, harmful. Alright, so sorry guys, let me just go through this. So please always to give examples. So even we can say example, another example would be bacteria too. Alright, so bacteria, we just write it here. Alright, so we need to give example, and the reason why we need to give example is because it's more better for us to get more marks. Alright, do not just, please, I'm asking you guys, need sleep? Wash your face with some water, Netflix shows, and then you can get sleep. After we go through all of this, oh, this is the milk, guys, that you guys need to know about. The pasteurization of milk. The reason why we need the pasteurization of milk, we need to know this. Why everyone, I don't need everyone to sleep as yet. This is the most important part that you guys need to know about, alright? So, when we're talking about the pasteurization, I hope everyone can listen, because I don't have the source to type on here, because the whole reason I didn't get to go through the paper really much. I just go ahead and ensure that I have the paper ready for you guys. Sir, he says, sir, why them who don't work, and they don't say give examples? Let me explain something to you, Ariana. Remember, CXC, when they ask you for a question, how could I give you 2 marks for just one definition? Does that make sense? No. No. If you do not know, and let's trust me guys, you can ask any teacher. Always give examples. If they do not ask, always give examples. For example, if it's a definition. Because the reason being, if they ask a foodborne, for example, they may ask you to define a foodborne illnesses. Alright, so when you define what is a foodborne illnesses, then you can say, for example, right? You can even say, for example, whatever, simple. So simple as they mentioned that you need to give define the term food infection. We know that food infection is, caused by the inflammation. So inflammation would be like when you are talking about the inflammation of the stomach and bowel. So we'd have a problem with the stomach and the bowel. And therefore, what happened with the stomach and the bowel? When it caused by parasite. So we can say example. So once you mention about parasite, CXC know what you are talking about, food infection. They know that parasite cause food infection. So they would give you a 1 mark. Right? And then now they would give you another 1 mark for the definition that you'd have give. So they basically will give you 2 mark in total. So this is how you would come about the 2 mark. So always pay attention to the mark. If they were saying that you need to define the term food infection and you only see 1 mark, you could just give the whole definition and no example, because you know that they will just mark you for the definition. But they say 2 mark. Alright, so please pay attention. And I've been doing this over here, guys, so I know what I'm saying. Alright, so please pay attention. No problem. Feel free to ask any question and I can give my input. Alright, good. So guys, here, this is a table, and I need everyone to know about this still, because they may throwing this in the the exams tomorrow, and you guys will be I would say timbered by this question. So they say we need to complete the table by suggesting 1 reason for each of the following steps in the production of cheese. So here, the production of cheese, we need to know how the production of cheese go. First thing first here, guys, right? You're talking about the pasteurization of milk. So it says ferment produce the flavor and addition of bacteria. Sorry, let me read this. Alicia says the ferment and ferment and produce flavor and addition of bacteria culture. Yes, Alicia, good one. All right, good, very correct. All right, so for pasteurization of milk, why did they pasteurize the milk? When we're talking about pasteurized milk, guys, we're talking about, like, for example, If we were supposed to extract milk from a goat or a cow, what we would normally do to get rid of the harmful bacteria in it is to kill it. So we pasteurize it, as Alicia said. Kill the harmful bacteria. Good. So we don't boil it. So we keep it under the temperature, but the temperature would not be the temperature on the fire. It would be hotter, higher temperature. So like 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright? So the 180 degrees Fahrenheit, so keep it under hot temperature to kill the bacteria in the milk. So therefore, it's when the milk is being heated by a specific temperature for the set period of time to kill the harmful bacteria that can lead to diseases like, we are talking about Lexus, and we did not just Lexus, but Listeriosis. So we're talking about Listeriosis, typhoid fever. We are talking about like tuberculosis, and all of those are, are even brucellosis. So brucellosis and I would say tuberculosis, these are, bacteria that is found in milk. So what they do is to kill those harmful bacteria that is not good. So they keep it under the degrees of, I would say, Fahrenheit, like for example 180 degrees Fahrenheit to kill bacteria. So let me just write a simple reason here. So the simple reason of, to have the pasteurization of milk is to kill bacteria. So this is the reason. Main reason is to kill bacteria. So you guys could go along and elaborate on it. But I'm just giving you the main I would say the main reason. So the main reason is to kill bacteria. Keep it under a high or pathogen. Yes, you can mention those bacteria as pathogen. Alicia, good. To be honest, I'm seeing a lot of grade 1 student over here. Good. Very brilliant. I love that. So when you're talking about pasteurization of milk, guys, is to keep the milk under I would say a direction in where we are killing the bacteria. Now we're gonna move along to the addition, of bacterial culture, and I need everyone to pay attention. Let's go. So when you're talking about additional, someone says you sound young. All right, no problem. All right, guys. So when you're talking about the bacterial culture, we need to know when you're talking about bacterial culture in the production of milk. So let me say something to you now, guys. All right. So when you're mentioning about bacterial culture in milk, we need to know about it's more like, I would say, the lactic acid. So when you're talking about bacterial culture, why it's been added to it. Let me just go along and just, scroll down a little bit. So the bacterial culture has been added to the milk, and it's most likely because it would have been the starter culture. So it's used for fermented. As who mentioned that before in the comment section? Alicia. That it is mentioned as the fermented. So fermented, guys, would be where we are talking about the like, for example, a microflora of the raw milk. Example, we also have the ovine or caprined. These are like frequently, I would say, invented during the production of manufactured. So what this would have been, guys, is to ensure it would be the starter of the culture used in fermented dairy products. So as Alicia mentioned, that it could also produce the flavor, not just the flavor and the addition of the bacteria culture. So it's forming the curve for addition for after in it. Good. Yes. Alright, so here the simple call of to note the reason why we need to, add of the additional of the bacterial culture is to ensure that we, fermentate. So it will be during this starter product is to, ensure that starter culture to the milk. So it's to add, let me just write it here, to add. So the real reason why they do it is to add the, I would say, add a starter culture. Let me just write it here. So the starter culture. And let me just write example there, so you guys could, elaborate more on it. Example. So you could say fermentant. We can even say lactic acid, like bacteria, the most common. Um, but you could just give a quick example. So the first example would be like let me just write here. Lactic. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I didn't get to finish this paper. I finished some and I have some leave back. That's the reason why I'm trying to do this now. Putting more pressure on me, boy. Let me see here. So it's fermentation. Human genius. This one. Alright, good. So here guys is to had a starter culture. Example, we are talking about like the lactic acid fermentation. Good. Alright, the lactic acid fermentation. Good SBA Arch. We having a good, some bright student over here. Very brilliant as usual. Alright guys, so why did we add the rennet? The adding of the rennet in milk. Why did they do that though? Alright, let me find out now guys. So adding rennet in milk. So first thing first, we need to look at the term. Alright, so the whole reason why they had the rennet to the milk, it's to separate. So it's to separate the solid milk particle from the water. So let me explain something to you. So it's to separate. How did you spell separate again, guys? I can't even spell again. I'm just kidding, alright? Alright, so it's to separate the... Let me just see here. Just a moment. Forming curd. That's good, but it's just to go along and separate. Phone just dropped out my hand. Oh my gosh, Gabriel, I'm so sorry to hear that. Wash your face with some water, right? So it's to separate the the solid milk. We're almost through. I need everyone to pay attention to this, guys, so you guys would understand. So the rennet is to separate this solid milk from trust me guys, I'm doing all this for you guys. Trust me, I want to sleep, but I try my best not to fall asleep. I'm very good at the moment. I don't want to sleep. So it's to separate the solid milk. I would not say particle, but I would say particle. Oh my gosh, let me just erase this. Let me just don't use the term particle. So it's to separate solid milk from the water in the milk. The water from the water in the milk. Not in. This is too many repetition. Separate the solid milk from the water. Simple. Makes sense. Yes. But the purpose of adding the rennet also is to ensure that it's been coagulated too. So you can also say example. Let me just give a quick example, guys, so you guys could understand. Because to be honest, I love to give example. So we are talking about coagulated. Is to ensure that the milk is being coagulated. Use this term. COAGULATE. Coagulate. Right? Because I love to give example. I don't like to write my definition without giving example. So get familiar with this term, guys. Good. So what is the addition of why they add rennet is to separate the solid milk from the water. Example, coagulate. Yeah, coagulate. Good. Separate the solid milk from liquid. Good, Alicia. Simple. Alright? Now we need to find out why they add the, I would say, the salt to the curd. Alright? I'm so sorry guys, I'm a little bit tired, but you know, I'm moving forward. Sorry. So why did they add the, I would say, adding of the, addition of salt? But we need to find these terms, guys. Salt to the curd. Alright, first and foremost, let's go guys. Because we don't want to waste time. Alright, so let me see here, let me remember. Just a moment guys, let me just remember something for you. So when they had salt to curd, what they normally do. Oh, alright, yeah. Okay, good. So for adding salt to curd, they normally, it's like a neutralization. So we're talking about neutralization is to ensure that we are rendering the digest, I would say, the palatable. So we're talking about like the taste. To make the cheese had more taste, flavor, as we are talking about. Serve as the, introduce salt in the, in the low sodium level. So it's to, neutralize the acidity. So we just write neutralize here. I'm a little bit tired guys, but I'm, trying my best to keep up. Neutralizing, L-I-Z-I-Z-I-N-G, neutralizing. Enhance flavor, good. Yes, you can do management paper on Netflix shows. I will try my best, alright? Guys, I told you if you have the papers, just send them to me, alright? So I could, you guys have my email. DM me through Instagram or, email me. But what about the texture and preservation, sir? Well, yes. Yes, SBA, Arch. Preservation, about the salt would keep the preservation as well. And the texture, yes, sure. The salt would keep the preservation, because what they do, that the salt normally, for example, the salt, not just give it the flavor perhaps, not fever. What I'm talking about though, the flavor. It's not just to give it flavor, but just to keep the preservative. So therefore, we have seen that neutralizing this acidity. So what you're talking about, guys, is to preserve it, right? So when you're talking about acidity, guys, you're talking about to preserve it, to ensure that the didn't spoil, the cheese doesn't spoil. So that's just the same thing that SBR just mentioned about preserve this acidity. Example, we can say example, um, palatable. Remember, guys, I need you guys to know this term, palatable. Yeah. And when you're talking about palatable, what you're talking about, guys? You're talking about flavor, right? Hope everyone is following, because we're almost through these people. If I can't do any more for tonight, then I will go live tomorrow. Trust me, I'm not forcing myself. So when you're talking about neutralizing the acidity, you're talking about example, palatable. So when you're talking about palatable, guys, we're talking about the flavor, otherwise known as taste. Alright? Good. Does everyone understand? Before I move along, I want everyone to comment in the comment section before I move. That's how I am. I like to ensure that everyone is following and everyone understand. Good. Sorry. I'm a little bit, tired what going. Everyone understand? Yes or no? Yes or no? Can we get 70 likes on the stream, guys? We have 67. Can we get at least, I would say, let me get at least 4 more likes, guys? Or 3 more? 3 more to go, guys. Can we get that to 3 or 4 likes? Come on. Let's go. We have 16% watching the stream. I think everyone is drifting away, going to, sleep. Everyone says yes, they understand. Everyone understand? Yes or no so far? Yes, 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 sir. Good. And I'm so sorry to keep you up so late, guys, but I've been busy all day. You know, um, this is the only time that I get. All right, let me see the paper here. This paper is a bit, blank. Guys, it's a little bit hard to go through this paper. Well, the reason why it's because I didn't get to finish all of it. But let me see if we can do it out of our head. Very easy question. So it's just two guidelines that you should follow by each of the following factors in order to preserve food contamination during the preparation of food. So temperature. Why we should follow the two factors in order to prevent food contamination. So first thing first, guys, why we need to have a temperature. So we need to keep the food at we'd say a perfect temperature because we do not want food. We do not want the food to be contaminated. And what we are talking about, food spoilage. Remember, food spoilage leads to food contamination. Because if the food were supposed to spoil, you use it, then you could become sick. So first thing first, we have to keep the food on we'd say the best temperature. I can't write anything on this here, guys. I'm just going to be explaining. I hope everyone will understand. Trust me. So I'm a little bit tired now. Alright, so the temperature now is to ensure that we keep the food. So the two guideline here is to ensure that we keep the food under I would say proper storage in temperature room to ensure that the food would have not spoiled, that it would prevent food contamination. Next thing we know about the hygiene. So personal hygiene, they need to wash their hands to prevent, I would say contamination. So wash their hands, you know, wash their hands, ensure that as they clean, they go. So that is well, not just personal hygiene, but it's to ensure that you cleanliness is godliness, guys. To ensure while they clean, they go, and to wash their hands, cut their fingernails. These are points, key points. Do not knead dough. What you're talking about is flour. Do not knead flour with your dirty fingernail. Cut your fingernail. Have a head cap on your head while you're in the kitchen. Right? Do not sneeze. Do not cough over the food. All of those are personal hygienes. Does everyone understand? This is common sense question. So these are the stuff that prevent, I would say. Let me just go ahead. So these are the steps to prevent food contamination. Oh, sorry guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know I'm a little bit tired. So kitchen slash food hygiene. We're talking about kitchen. So kitchen should be kept well clean. Food should be washed before prepared. So that is food hygiene. We know that food should always be washed before. Yes, cross contamination. Yes, I know that SB Arch. So food should be washed before prepared. So that is food hygiene. And no, kitchen hygiene is kitchen supposed to be cleansed, clean. Utensils supposed to be clean, such as spoons, bowls, pots, all of those stuff should be clean before use. So before pre-prep, utensils supposed to be clean, plates and dishes, all of those. And for food hygiene now, food should be keep clean. Kitchen, keep kitchen clean, clean as you go. You good, Alicia. Right? So does everyone understand what I'm explaining here? Very easy and very precise and simple. Right? This one is a repeated one, guys. Alright, but I'm not feeling this one will come on the paper tomorrow. I'm not really feeling this one. But I need you guys to know this by heart though. Wash counter should be sanitized. Good. Yes, SPA Arch. Good. Oh my gosh, I'm a little bit tired of my. Let's go, guys. Let's go. I don't really have the enough night. I'm really getting a little bit tired. Let's go. All right, good. So here, it says list 3 steps taken when removing blockage from a clogged sink. So first step that should be taken we should ensure that the blockage would have been removed. So ensure that we know the techniques, the proper techniques to remove the blockage. So first one will be technique, proper technique. Second, after removing the blockage, we should ensure that we use warm water. So use hot water, but do not at least I would say you say hot water, but instead of hot water, we don't really want to. Yes, hot water is good, but I would say warm water because we don't want the water too hot. But hot water, you're perfect fine. You're on the track with Alicia. Use warm water, hot water. But first thing we just have to ensure that we use the proper techniques. So you'd say use proper techniques. Use proper techniques will be the first step when removing it. So if we don't use proper technique, we don't know how to remove the clog from the sink. So you need to use proper technique, use warm water. And also the other final step is to ensure that it is 1 p.m. My time is 11:46 now. Netflix show. Alright. Oh my gosh, sorry guys, I'm a bit tired. Trust me. I don't think I can go over the other paper, guys. Trust me. But I will be showing you guys a few diagrams. Alright. Alright, good. So the other question says Karim's, sustain a major, not a major. Sorry, what I'm saying though, a minor cut to his fingers, risk. Oh, while. Oh, sorry. Alright, good. So it says Karim's, sustain a minor cut while on his to his finger while slicing a cucumber. Therefore, we need to list 3 steps in the first aid kit of Karim's finger. So what is the first thing? First thing, we know that the finger has been cut. So we know that we need to use the principle of the first aid. So first thing first, you need to examine the cut. So you need to know if it's severe, but they already mentioned that it was minor, so it was not big. So what you need to do is to ensure that you wash off the wound, wash off the wound. Then what you would do is to ensure that we dry the wound, and after we dry the wound, then we would apply the basic treatment, right? The first aid basic treatment. Very simple 3. I already said we need to just list the steps. So we need to list the 3 steps and we should good. 3 simple easy marks. So let me see how many marks we have received for that. 3? Yeah, 3 simple mark. Easy. Easy guys. Easy. Alright? Alright. Oh my god. I'm a little bit tired guys. After this paper guys, I think I'm going bed, alright? Clean the cut, yes. So after this paper guys, I think I'm just going bed because I'm really tired. Trust me. CSEC is really tired. Alright, good. So the other question here is says suggest one precaution. So you're talking about rule that we should take it when during the each of the following activities to prevent accident. So what is the rule that we should take? I would say when you're lighting the oven of a gas stove with a matches. So you wanted to ensure that the knobs are being turned off. So you don't want to just go ahead and light any stove and the knobs is turned on. That could cause the house to catch on fire. So I want to ensure that I would say the stove knobs is off. So the knobs are off, right? When we are lighting the gas stove with a matches. So that is one. And we can just give a reason. We can say reason why. It's to prevent the explosion. Right? Prevent explosion. Now why the reason why we should go ahead and so like slicing and cutting vegetables. Slicing and not cutting vegetables. Why we should use the precaution? Because slicing vegetables would be more I would say efficient and more better. Right? Next thing, frying fish. Why we should use a precaution on frying fish? That so here when you're frying fish guys, we want to ensure that the oil is very I would say synchronized in the pot. We have to ensure that we scale the fish very good, and we have to ensure because I'm a little bit sleep guys, trust me. Alright, so yeah, Alright, alright. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired, guys. Let's go. Um, Guys, after this paper, I'm going with, alright? Because I'm really tired. I can't do the three paper. I didn't want it to do, but I can't. Can't keep up any longer. Alright, so you know about the steps when you're frying fish. So we need to clean the fish. Good SPRs, you need to clean the fish. Alright? So you want to then try to clean the fish, wash the fish properly, clean the fish properly. Alright, good. Now the other one, let me check. Make sure that the pan is dried properly. Yes, Ariana, good. Alright, good. I'm a little bit sleepy, trust me guys, I'm a little bit sleepy. Because I'm even reading the comment and my eyes are a little bit blurry. Alright, so it says Ramona is a cook for our caterer. So she find it difficult to prepare meal on time. So she need so what I'm saying here though. Suggest two ways in which Ramona can achieve maximum efficiency when preparing meal. So she find it difficult to prepare meal on time. So we're talking about pre-prep. So let me just use this term, guys. Pre-prep. Does you understand what this is mean, guys? You know what is a pre-prep? What does pre-prep mean, guys? Pre-prep is meaning we are preparing, meal before and. So, like for example, pre-prep would be like, for example, in the night, like for now, we are cutting up vegetables, saute, they call it sauteing, sauteing in the freezer, in the cooler perhaps, for tomorrow. So we have, doing a pre-prep. Then what you could do, it says suggest two ways. So one way would be pre-prep, right? So that could save her time. Second, now, if she always, she need to time herself. So what she could do is to time herself or use time herself. Yes, season the food, SBR is, pre-prep. So that is seasoning the food from over time. But she also can time herself. If she doesn't, because she says she find it difficult to prepare meal on time. Or she could use I would say, let me show you something, guys. She could use a time plan, right? Time plan. So instead of she timing herself, she can use a time plan. Say I give you three simple, ways. She can use a time plan, she can time herself, or she can pre-prep. So she can pre-prep meals. She can, yes, she can omit unnecessary actions. Yes. So you mean like, for example, if she were supposed, to do stuff in the day, and I would say unnecessary stuff, the time that she could use to do unnecessary stuff, she could use that time to, do the pre-prepping. All right. Using labor saving utensils. Well, most unlikely. All right. Sorry, guys. So does everyone understand what I mean, guys? Please let me know in the comment section. Please. Can we get 70 likes on the stream, guys, before I end the stream? Please. Because I soon end the stream. Can I get 70 likes, please? And feel free, guys. Remember, everyone, please go over to my Instagram and follow my Instagram. I would greatly appreciate it. Can everyone head over to my Instagram real fast, guys, and follow me on there and come back. Please. Ensure that you're following my social media pages, guys. Alright, so follow my Instagram and you guys should be good. I'm a little bit sleepy. Alright, guys, the link is in my description, alright? Oh my gosh. You can do the other people in the morning. Yes, Netflix shows. I'm just going over this real fast. After this paper finish, it's going straight bed. What is green consumer? This term is going to bust my head, alright? What is green consumer? We can do the others at 9 or so. Alright guys, listen. Um should I end the paper here? Because I'm a little bit tired. Trust me, I have 25% watching this room. I'm just wondering if I should just go ahead and finish the paper here or just finish the paper first. Alright. Because I'm really tired. Start at 9 if you can. I can. Oh my god. So sorry guys. So let me just write the definition of green consumer. So a green consumer is, a person or a customer. So it's a customer. That's not what it does. Oh my gosh. I think, well, to be honest, guys, it's not really every YouTuber in here do paper too. But I try my best to, do it, and then I try my best to explain it as much. So the best thing for you guys to do, guys, is to just watch the ads, alright? Please. Any ads you see on my video, guys, feel free to watch it. That's how I really, I would say, get paid, alright? Just for your information, guys. Please, if you really appreciated my video, just please watch the ads, guys. You don't have to watch all of it, alright? When they purchase environment friendly products. Yes, Ashley. So a consumer who they want to buy, produce things that protect their, I would say, protect their environment. So consumers who, things is being buy friendly. So it would be a consumer, that, consumer that buy. Let's see, about environment friendly. Yes. What I'm writing, but even what I'm doing though. Oh my gosh, I'm really tired. Environment. Environmental. Environmental friendly. Does everyone understand what is a green consumer? Alright guys. Does everyone know what is a green consumer? Can we get 70 likes on the stream, guys? Let's go. Can we get everyone like the stream? Let's go. I'm a little bit getting a little sleepy. And I will stop the paper right here for tonight. So this will be the end for tonight, guys, because I'm a little bit sleepy. And I want, let me just save this. The end for tonight. For now. I would say it's for now. Because I will be going live tomorrow before the exams, and I know I will have a lot of persons tomorrow. So guys, a green consumer is a consumer that buy environment friendly products or friendly, stuff. I would say. Does everyone understand what is a green consumer? Yes, I really want to sleep. I'm really tired. Good. So guys, I want to say, good night to everyone. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Oh gosh, oh my gosh, sleep will kill me, sir. Someone says, yes, you can do other people in the morning. Alright guys, so I'm very sleepy, alright?
All right, good guys. I really enjoyed being corresponding with each and everyone on the live. It's my pleasure. I want to say good night to everyone. Thanks everyone for joining in, and I hope everyone will pass their exam. Guys, please remember to get enough sleep, drink enough water, and revise. You guys should good because tomorrow you guys always go over before your exam, so you guys will have a sharp mindset. Can you get 70 likes before you go, guys? Good night, Ashley. Good night, everyone. Because I'll be ending the live now. No problem, SBRH. No problem, no problem, no problem. So, guys who haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. If you're new, turn on the post notification. Um, that's it for tonight. Good night. Let the good Lord be with you all and keep you safe and guide each and every one family. Alright? Because you all know this. Keep safe. Alright? Alright, guys. So, good night for now. You're welcome, Nelia. Trust me, I can't even hardly pronounce the name because my eyes is, getting double visions because I'm sleepy. So, good night, everyone. I want to say, good night to every single one that's watching the stream and everyone that participating. I really appreciate it. And if you didn't participate, it's fine. At least I would say, you not just interact by commenting, but you interact by liking and subscribing. So I really appreciate it. So good night, everyone. Bye now and keep safe. Can we get 70 likes before we go, guys? Just 68 likes, and I'm not leaving. I'm not in the stream till I get 70 likes. Come on, guys. Two more, guys. Just two more. Right? Alright, guys. So really. Alright, guys. So good night for now, and see you guys tomorrow in the morning. So either be at live at around like 10, or well, I will live. The latest would be like 11:30. Alright, so we're around that time, guys. So keep safe, and thank you guys for watching it and making it csecnow, and see you now, right? Let's see you now, but see you later, alright? I'm only retired now, guys. Alright. Good night. Kudos.